was broke. I filled your cup until it overflowed. Took it so far to keep you close. I was afraid to leave you on your own. I said I'd catch you if you fall, and if they laugh, then fuck them all. And then I got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you could take advantage of me. Tell me how's it feel, sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there. Name in the sky, does it ever get lonely? Thinking you could live without me, thinking you could live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why. Thinking you could live without me, live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why. Gave love about 100 tries, just running from the demons in your mind. Then I took yours and made them mine. I didn't notice cause my love was blind. Said I'd catch you if you fall, and if they laugh, then fuck them all. And then I got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you could take advantage of me. Tell me how's it feel, sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there. Name in the sky, does it ever get lonely? Thinking you could live without me, thinking you could live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why. Thinking you could live without me, live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there.
Talking about things going nowhere. Baby, let's make a deal. If we can't find anyone out there, will you come around for that weekend love? We were never friends on a Monday. This was never love for real. But if you hate being alone on a Sunday, then you come around for that weekend love. I wanna know if there's nobody when the lights come on. I wanna know, will you come find me when the lights come on for that weekend love? Will you come find me when the lights go on? I like the way you look with no clothes on. I like that you don't kiss goodbye. I like the way that you're not sad when you leave, because you came around for that weekend love. I wanna know if there's nobody when the lights come on. I wanna know, will you come find me when the lights come on for that weekend love? Will you come find me when the lights
Ro.8 ASL Season 6. Today's matchup. Action, Kim Sung-dae, Serve. Shuttle, Kim Yoon-jung, Protoss. ASL Season 6, Round 8. Match 3. The time is now.
What is up? We're back at the ASL. We're getting closer and closer to having our finals. Today, Action versus Shuttled.
Yeah, the underdog match of the round of 8. I don't think anyone expected Action to really get here. You know, Shuttle is a maybe, and then, of course, one of these guys goes the round of 4, and certainly no one expected that.
Kind of crazy. Now, Action's somebody who's been a practice monster. He grinds hard. He ladders a lot. And he's gained a lot of respect for that, but he has not been able to take that hard work and translate that into major success in a tournament like the ASL. But it seems like in the last week he has managed to do that. He's actually here. He's going up against Shuttle, someone who's an ASL champion. Shuttle, someone who's very dominant until StarCraft Remastered came out, and this huge amount of attention got poured back into StarCraft 1. And he's certainly eager to come down now and reclaim his title as someone who is the most dominant StarCraft 1 player.
Well, we'll see if he can do that tonight. It is a tough match for him against Action, no doubt about that. And of course, whoever wins here gets to play the winner of Mini and Flash. And that is, I mean, that is a brutal opponent. Right?
Yeah.
Whoever wins that is certainly favored to get to the final and maybe even win.
Yeah, of course, the big question is going to be, you know, how does Mini do against Flash? Snow is exposed to be a bit of a potential weakness here in Flash's Terran versus Protoss. And I think Mini really is one of the best Protosses around, especially on the kind of maps we're using in this season of ASL.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to try to do in those games. Before we go any further, though, a quick video for you guys. Then, coming up, Action versus Shuttle.
연습하면서 좀 기량이 올라오는 느낌이라서 자신은 있어요. 걱정했는데 제가 항상 자신 있게 했거든요.
Action.
이재호가 갔습니다. 이재호 가세요. 김윤중 울고요.
진짜 없는 사람처럼 조용히 있었어야 되는데.
엽니다. 차이 납니다. 승리 김윤중. 뚜껑 열어보니까 8강 진출 김윤중이에요.
Shuttle.
1, 2등 춘에서 0-0를 받은 적도 있어요. 지금 8강 진출 일어났으면 두 번째 주인공 1위로 8강 진출해 납니다.
We're going to go to a quick interview and see how our two players are feeling. From there, they're going to jump into this into their computer chairs, and we're going to go into this best of 5.
멋진 경기력으로 많은 팬들의 예상을 넘어 8강에 올라온 두 선수를 만나보겠습니다. 자, 먼저 데뷔 첫 4강에 진출에 도전하는 김성대 선수, 그리고 ASL 시즌 1의 우승자였던 김윤중 선수 함께하겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
All right, so it's Action Shuttle. Hello,
김성대
hello.
선수 안녕하세요. 네, 제가 현역 때
How are you doing,
8강에
Action?
진출했던 걸 찾아보니까 대한항공 스타리그 2010 시즌 2.
You've been a pro gamer in the past.
네.
8년 만에 8강을 앞두고 계십니다. 감회가 좀
In the
어떠신가요?
Korean Airlines StarLeague Season 2, 2010.
형이랑 해서
That was the last time you got to the quarterfinals, but you're here now. How are you feeling?
네.
긴장은 딱히 안 되고 재밌게 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
상대가 김윤중이라
It's a funny situation that I'm going to have to go up against a player like Shuttle.
김윤중 선수는 굉장히 여유로운 표정이세요.
He says he's not that nervous. He thinks the situation is pretty interesting. What's your take on that, Shuttle?
때문인 것 같은데요. 좀 어떠신가요?
Also, Shuttle, you seem to be enjoying this moment as well.
없어요. 포기했어요. 네, 진짜로.
Well, I don't actually feel that confident against Action. I think he's a great player.
상대 너무 잘해가지고 너무
So are you
자신
just going to
없어요.
stick to the same concepts you
워낙
used to like you did in
모두
season 1?
16강의 대진이 험난했기 때문에
No, I've been practicing hard.
8강에 진출할 거라고
So,
예상했던 그
I think he said he has
투표에서
no confidence to
김성대
beat him today.
선수는 0표를
Over to you,
획득하셨고요.
Action.
김윤중 선수는 한
Both
표를
players
획득하셨습니다.
that are here now did not receive any votes from the other pro gamers on who voted in confidence of who would advance.
8강에 올라올 거라고 좀 예상을
Action got
하셨는지
0 and Shuttle got 1. Did you guys
솔직히
expect
말하면은 윤중이 형
the opposing player that you're up against to get this far? Honestly, when I was watching Shuttle and his groups, it seemed really tough for him.
항상 잘하더라고요. 그래서 사실 저도 대진표 떴을 때는
But he made it to the quarterfinals.
솔직히 절대 안 질 수 있을 것
Again,
같은데
I think Shuttle's actually quite strong against Zergs, especially in ASL. I think he's quite good at this tournament.
서로가 서로를 좀 어려운 상대라고 좀 생각을 하고
So it's
있는
gonna be
것
tough to
같은데
face him,
김성대
face off
선수가
against him.
8강에 그 어려운 대진을 좀 뚫고 올라올 거라고 생각을 하셨나요?
아니요, 절대.
Did you expect Action to get to the quarterfinals? No, not at all. He says.
이런 기적도 이런
Not
기적이
even 1%
없습니다.
Action.
예, 어떻게 그 이용?
I think this is a miracle that he's actually here right now.
이제도
네.
Brutal.
누가 있어도 진짜 못 살아남을 존데.
Flash,
거기서 살아남았던
JD,
거는
last in that
거기서
group.
썼다는
It's
거겠죠?
insane. I think we can all agree that this is a miracle.
김성대 선수는 8년
I
만에
hope he's
8강에
used all his
치르지만
luck up
그때
in the
8강은
round of 16 to get here, so he doesn't have any left against me.
오전제를 치르는 건 처음이에요. 많은 선수들이 좀 조언을 해주셨을 것 같은데 좀 인상 깊은 조언이 있었나요?
So this is the very first time for you to be in a best of 5 in an offline tournament.
딱히 그런 두려움 같은 건 없어가지고
네.
What kind of
뭐
message did you get in
조언받거나
support?
이러진 않았고 그냥
I didn't get that much
오늘
advice from other
자신 있게
people.
다전제에 대한 두려움은
Just
전혀
stay
없다.
focused, do what I
인상 깊은
practiced,
조언도
keep
특별히
my head
없다. 네. 이 김윤정 선수 같은 경우에는
Okay, no
아까
special
전에도 제가
advices
말씀을
from others.
드렸지만
But what about
경험적인
you, Shuttle?
측면에서는 굉장히 여유로울 수밖에
In
없잖아요.
terms of experience,
오전제를
especially in
앞두고
offline
가장
tournaments,
중요하게
you're
생각하는
quite a
부분,
veteran compared to
본인만의
Action.
포인트 어떤 게 있을까요?
아 근데 지금 저그전
What do you think is the most important
살아오면서
skill to have in a best of
때도
5 in an offline event?
제동이 형이랑 5판 3선 해가지고 3대
Well, when I was a pro gamer in the past,
4대에서도 또 두들겨 맞고
playing
한
games
번도 못
against
이겨봤어요
JD,
저그전을.
I lost
다전제는
recent matches
간판은
against Zergs
이겨봤는데
especially.
그래서 오늘도 좀
in best of
그게
5
좀 많이
matches.
걱정되고 오늘 처음으로 한번 이겨보고
I've
싶네요.
struggled in that matchup.
ASL 내에서는 저그전의
Because of
승률이
that
굉장히
matchup, I don't have a
좋으시잖아요.
confident answer for you, and I'm not confident in this
김성대
matchup in general. Best of 5s and
선수를
PVZ
상대로는
are
좀
hard.
어려울 수도 있는 게
Yes,
김윤정
but
선수는
especially in
후반부터
ASL, you've had an
힘을
excellent
발휘하는
win rate.
스타일이에요. 김성대 선수는 초반 전략이 굉장히 무서운 선수거든요.
And you seem to be strong in mid game and late game.
신경을 쓰고
저 친구가
And it seems like Action's somebody who tries to activate a strategy early on.
그래서
I'd say Action is an excellent mid game and late game player,
성대가 좀 살살 해줬으면 좋겠어요.
especially in preparing. So
김성대
hopefully I'll
선수도
receive some mercy
24강,
today.
16강 모두 좀 놀라운 전략을 보여주셨기 때문에 그 부분을 기대하고 계신 팬분들도 정말
Action, you've
많아요.
shown some incredible
오늘도
strategies
좀
in the rounds of 24 and the round of 16, and a lot of people have high expectations for you that you may bring out some unusual builds. What do you say to that?
솔직히 말하면은 토스전은 딱히
Honestly,
그런 전략이 필요 없다고
I-
생각해서 그냥 하던 대로 할
ZVP,
건데 중간중간에
I don't think you need a special strategy necessarily. I think you just need to play solid,
뭔가
do what you
굉장히
practice.
의미심장한 예고를 하나 남겨주네요, 김성대 선수.
And he
자,
says if
그러면
he needs to
끝으로
use any of those great
양
strategies, he
선수의
will, but it's
각오를
not required.
김성대
Before we
선수부터
jump into the games,
들어볼까요?
anything you want to say to
솔직히
Shuttle Action?
말하면은 원래
Honestly,
토스전만큼은 진짜 자신 있었는데 이번에
I'm really confident, especially against the race Protoss, but throughout my preparation leading up to this match, I have been struggling a little
엄청난
bit.
그런
So
자신감은 아닌데 어쨌든 재밌는 경기 보여드리도록
this is going to be different than if I'm
네,
playing on the
김윤정
ladder.
선수.
어차피 성대가 또 저를 이기고 올라간다고
What
하더라도
about you, Shuttle?
그가 버티고 있거든요. 네. 어차피 못 올라갑니다, 김성대
If my
선수.
opponent
그냥
defeats me, it makes it to the
떨어지세요.
semifinals.
본인이 올라가면 좀 뭔가 다를까요?
아니요. 결과는 똑같습니다. 그냥 제가 하고 싶어가지고.
He says if you can't win
네,
this tournament, why not just get eliminated here
4강을
now?
향한 멋진 도전, 멋진 경기 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰
She
고맙습니다.
says, well, if you can get to the
고맙습니다.
semifinals, can you win it? And he says, no, I don't think so, but whatever. Okay,
김성대
we're going into
선수와
the match
김윤중
now.
선수의 8강 3경기 험난한 대진을 넘어 8강 경기를 앞두고 있는 두 선수를 향해
This is going to
멋진
be
응원
fun. I did not
부탁드립니다.
think Action was going to
지금까지
get this far,
이영경이었습니다.
but this is so cool that he's actually managed to do this.
Yeah.
The unthinkable. Here's our map lineup. Silpit, Neo Transistor, Autobahn, Circuit Breakers, and Silpit again if we go to game number 5.
Yeah. Interesting on the bans. Action getting rid of Autobahn. We did see, I believe, Effort get rid of that previously as well in a ZVP. And then Shuttle getting rid of Circuit Breaker. I think that's a very intelligent call from him because, like he said, Action's mid and late game are actually really strong, and that map can be very difficult. I think, in the later portions of the game against a good macro Zerg. So, cool. Sylphid going to be our map that we see twice. What do you think, Tasteless? What's your prediction?
I think it's going to be 3-2, one way or the other. These guys should both definitely be able to take games off each other.
Yeah.
I've said this a lot about PvZ, but I'll stick to it. For the Protoss, I think we just need to see if Shuttle can get into mid-game or late game, if he has Storm, especially if he gets his third base up. But most importantly, if he can get Storm up and Action doesn't do anything too crazy to try to kill him off.
Yeah.
Even though I think Action is great mechanically in mid-game and late game, I watched a lot of Shuttle's PvZ, and he's very good at his decision-making.
He is.
Late game PvZ, which can be harder than it looks. A lot of times Protosses have the right tools, but don't know how to fully capitalize on it. And it seems like he can fight an upward battle against a Zerg player and win. But look, Action is the dark horse of this tournament. I mean, there's a chance he goes to the Final Four and maybe even the finals. I don't know. It's hard to imagine. But let's say Mini beats Flash, maybe then Action beats Mini. And somehow through...
Yeah, that is a real possibility.
Yeah.
And then if it's like effort Action, that's a possibility to go to Action. And the thing is, he's not a weakling. You know, when it comes to just playing some of these really hardcore macro Terrans, he's good at ZVT. He can play a late game. You know, he knows how to make his defilers. He has had some great games in that regard. I don't think he's up to the level of Blaster Flash, but crazier things have happened.
And you know, this is, you know, if he continues to do this, it's a real Cinderella story, Artosis. This guy has been playing nonstop the whole time and hasn't managed to reap the results that, you know, you dream of when you play as much as this guy does. So in some ways, even though I think we have these storied players that are on, they're in mythic proportions of you know, their background and their history, having somebody brand new come in here and dominate, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, he's been there alongside his peers and hasn't had the results.
Yeah, I'd love to see him rise up and actually become like a championship tier player. And I mean, maybe this is a season where that can occur. By the way, what is with that strap hanging off the back of his head? That's not a new style, right?
No, that's not a thing.
Because when you have a hat like that, because I have a hat like that, you tuck the little strap in.
Exactly.
It has a little place to be tucked in around the back of the hat. I feel like someone should tell him so that he's not a laughing stock anymore.
Well, right now it looks like he has a tail on the back of his head with the, you know. So anyways, we're about to jump into this game, guys. Again, this is a PvZ. The loser's out. They're gone in this best of 5. But the winner will go on to the Final Four. Very sought after, nearly impossible to get to in the ASL. And of course, that makes things a lot easier for next season. And we have big plans here at AfreecaTV to continue doing StarCraft. So the story goes on. Anyways, this is game 1, Action versus Shuttle on Sylphid.
Now playing on Sylphid.
Okay. Action in the bottom right and Shuttle in the bottom left. Action's Overlord is headed north. And so he'll be finding his opponent a little bit later, depending on when he sent that drone out, I guess.
So, you think it's going to be a 3-2 either way?
I think so, but sometimes I say that and someone 3-0s and dominates so hard, and I'm like, oh, I should have known that.
Yeah, there was a lot of time to prepare
2020.
for this.
Yeah.
There was like a ton of time for them to prepare for this match, so someone might have just out-prepped the other player.
Yeah.
I feel like, I actually think Action's going to win this. I really like Shuttle's PvZ, to be honest. He's willing to mix in some very interesting plays, like Speed Zealot Reaver pushes and stuff that are super powerful if you don't have mutas. But I don't know. I feel like there was enough time to prepare. I think Action is coming in with a very solid overall style. So I'm looking forward to his play here.
I love that we're getting more and more international viewers down here in the studio. So cool. Yep, the prep time is a big factor here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Action, though, I mean, not to take anything away from how far he's gotten here, but you know, that group was crazy impossible to get out of. but he did it. But it was in these kind of series of best-of-1 games where he basically played probably the 2 best games of his whole career.
Yeah, he played really well. Recently, Jaedong did review the games and mentioned that actually his hotkeys, P and Q, were messed up. And this was part of why his Mutalisk micro was off in the game. So remember, we were so confused when he lost the Muta battle. Jaedong was really dominating.
It was totally weird when he went in there and then he lost. And so then what was the deal with that then? Did he want to rebind P to the Q key?
Yeah, like everyone puts patrol on Q nowadays. Yeah. It's just, it makes sense, right? Q is not.
Well, P is all the way on the opposite side of the keyboard.
Yeah.
So
why would you ever have anything over there anymore? In remaster, it doesn't make sense. So, and he considered pausing it, decided not to because he was so far ahead and stuff. All Jaedong's words, not mine. But yeah, just throwing that out there. But I mean, still, it was legit play from Action overall, and an amazing comeback. By the way, just a little side note for anyone who might be confused. You see on the mini map the 2 little mineral patches, and then he scouted with a drone, and you saw in the Fog of War the 2 little mineral patches that are like in the middle of the base to the north. Those actually aren't there once you scout. They're just there. It's like a little map editor trick to displace the workers, so they start above the Nexus or Hatchery or Command Center or whatever, because the amount of time to send your workers if they start on the bottom and your minerals are on the top, it's not negligible, right? So
correct. Yeah, these are a few little features that they've put in here. You know, again, this is a game that has not really been patched as far as balance go, but I guess sometimes makers will nudge the game into a little bit more of a better setting.
Yeah. That's just
which I think is great.
Totally.
So we have the 3 hatches being taken here. There is a gas. We don't see a lot of Lings right now. So far, everything looks pretty normal from Action, which doesn't surprise me at all, really. I kind of expected him to bring a game like this. Here comes the layer now.
Yeah.
Drones continuing to be pumped out. And, of course, Shuttle can't really do that much until he has a Zealot or something that can try to come out on the map and apply some pressure.
Yeah, nothing weird at all at this point. Some good scouting by Shuttle, checking out exactly what's going on. He hasn't seen the layer, so that's going to be an important thing. That's probably where he's going to go next with the probe, I would imagine.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind here with Shuttle, he does not 100% know that the Hydra bust is not coming.
Yeah.
This is this sweet spot where a lot of times Protosses will just lose the game.
Yes.
Because they were not quite prepared for Hydras to come in. Once you lose 1 or 2 cannons, it's so easy for the Protoss to get toppled by Hydras. So this probe is now going to come through here. So far, so good. Action almost on some level, I think, maybe being too laissez-faire with this probe scouting him. I mean, he could have, for instance, blocked the main with 2 Lings there in that little area.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a Protoss player, that would have certainly created a lot more insecurity in me.
The extra 2 Lings popped out just as the probe got in, so maybe he was just being a little bit too greedy, making many drones instead.
Sure.
But he is doing just his standard. Oh my God, it's 2 Stargate.
Okay, so this has been somewhat trendy here, especially in this year.
Yeah.
2018. I believe we might have seen this once or twice as well at the very end of 2017. Occasionally I get my timing off a little bit on this, but this is a very cool way to approach a Zerg who's trying to play straight up.
Yeah.
You know, if it's 1 Stargate and the Zerg's on 3 hatch layer, it's up in the air who's really ahead with air units. I mean, if you Scourge connect onto the Corsairs, then you're in trouble. You know, but if you go 2 Stargate, you can end up flattening a player who's not respecting that. And it looks like with the 3rd gas being mined over there and then not one taken at the natural, we could see a decent amount of air units coming out here. But if Shuttle can get enough Corsairs, I think he might end up smothering the Zerg.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Just the fact that he took the 2nd gas this quickly makes me wonder if he is planning on maybe dedicating 2 Spire units. Like, you definitely can, and I don't think that Shuttle is going to show, the fact that he has 3 Corsairs right now, for instance, right? I think you want to hide this for as long as possible, that you went for 2 Stargate, because then the game definitely changes quite a bit here. So let's see, because, yeah, that 2nd gas is just quick enough that it could be.
Yeah, there is one little all-in that you can do where you just get the right number of Scourge and enough mutas, and you come in there, and you basically try to A, take out the cannon in the main, because there's almost always going to be a cannon there, usually positioned to cover the Stargate as well.
Yeah.
But then you kill the Corsairs, and then you try to just win the air fight, and the Protoss loses the main. And from there, it's very easy for the Zerg to set up and try to come in there and take out whatever's remaining.
So Action has actually run into basically a hard counter to what he's doing.
Yes.
He did take the second gas. He did decide to go mute a Scourge here. And now Shuttle is in great shape. Well,
hold on. Those Corsairs.
See how many get caught.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still got 5. He's got 2 making at a time. Action already is aware, seeing that many. You know, he's probably going in there expecting 3. Instead, there's like 6.
Now,
so
you can sometimes, if you do it right, still end up killing the Corsair army.
Yes.
It's just very important that you control perfectly. Now, behind this, a lot of Protoss players will get 1 DT.
Yeah.
Because the goal here, ultimately, for Shuttle is to try to come out and start murdering Overlords in droves. And from there, 1 DT can do so much damage, it's crazy. And there's really, the only units that Zerg really have are Mutalisks, which probably can't fight that DT if Corsairs are over them.
Yeah, he's definitely going to look to snowball it at some point if possible.
Okay, +1 air attack is done.
The Scourge saw those going out, though. So Action is going for a counterattack now. There's only a couple cannons covering that natural right now, so he can actually get a decent amount of probes.
Problem is that I think for Shuttle, killing off all these Overlords, can actually put Zerg into such a bad spot, there's almost nothing you can do. Now, with the main cannon under fire, I think the Corsairs have to come back, unless I'm missing something that Protoss has that can stop this.
Well, he's just kind of going for it right now with these Corsairs. He checks that third base. There isn't a lot of detection around. And Action is intensely supply blocked right now.
Yeah, I mean, 51 out of, 36 now as one Overlord just now hatches. Now, the Corsairs can kill the Mutas. That's the big scary factor, depending on how he can angle this. Now, he's fanning them out in all directions, trying to buy time, because eventually these Corsairs are going to head back home.
Yeah.
And start doing a ton of damage.
Hey, this is a tough situation for Action. I don't fault him for what he chose to do here, diving in with the Mutas and kind of. It was like not a base trade, but it was similar to a base trade, right? Where they're both doing massive damage to each other. Because his Mutas were not going to get value any other way against 2 Stargate Corsair.
Okay. The Corsairs are coming in now again. A bunch of kills on these Overlords. And look, even though Protoss isn't mining, when you cannot make anything as Zerg, and every unit you lose, every Muta, every drone, everything can't be remade until there's Overlords out for long enough. I mean, this is incredibly painful. And now the Corsairs can roam freely. Now Corsairs, it's okay to lose 1 or 2 if you're still killing Overlords.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You can keep making Corsairs. Zerg can't make anything. And there's only 3 spots that you can really hide Overlords. So look at this. This is a location that Shuttle's going to be licking his lips once he finds out how many Overlords are down there.
Yeah. You know, there are some spores up. There are some sunken colonies up. There's a little bit of ground forces here for Action. Oh my God, if he finds that group of Overlords, tasteless.
And you can see just how quickly these Overlords end up being taken out. Now he's going to get this one over here, but is he going to check the hiding spot? Funny. There it is. There's that DT.
Ooh, just really well done. Okay, some Overlords coming up, so.
Funnily enough, though, then the Overlords have to expose themselves again.
Did get that Spore to finish, so he's got a decent anti-air crew right here.
Crew?
Crew, that's a crew. See the Hydra's, the Scourge, and the Spore, they're all working together. Spores are alive.
Now behind this, yes, they are.
Yeah,
actually, even
so they can be part of a crew.
But from here, I mean, is Protoss going to have enough muscle to start punching through these, you know, I don't want to say great areas that are defended by Zerg. I mean, there's not a lot of defense in some of these spots.
Yeah, he's being a little bit careful now. Doesn't want to lose a huge group of Corsairs. Definitely a lot of gateways being added. Many Zealots coming out with their +1. Looks like Storm should be just about done as well.
Yeah.
I'm feeling this is pretty tough right now for Action.
It's funny because Protoss gets the ground army up quite a bit later. I mean, I guess the Zerg does as well, since Zerg went for air, Protoss went for air, but you know, just having the Storm and the few Zealots out, it makes it incredibly problematic. Keep in mind, let's say you can storm down all these Hydras, the Corsairs go right back in and start killing Overlords.
Yeah.
It really
Crawler
forces,
will not be enough.
Yeah, it really forces Zerg into this difficult balancing act here.
A few Zerglings being picked off, just kind of scouting where the army's at. The Hydra's going to come in from a funny angle and try to get these high Templars. Let's see, one goes down, and a second one definitely will fall. The third one's going to be picked off.
Okay, Shuttle just
Beautifully
lost
done.
every high Templar
Wow.
there. Yeah, that's what a good Zerg will do, is send the Hydras out at a weird angle and just try to blindside where the Templars are and kill them off.
Really, really well done right there. But this is a lot of Zealots. This is not going to be easy to defend. Oh, he actually turns around.
Yeah, I think he might need a little bit more. On paper, it can look like you're going to break that, but then sometimes with good drone drilling,
yeah, that's
you
true.
just kind of kill everything
and then
anyways.
the Hydra flank comes in, and
Yeah.
it's like, if you lose that army, suddenly action's really back in it.
Okay, a little counter here to deny this Nexus from being set up.
Yeah.
This is one way to just keep Shuttle under control. I got to say, for a guy who's been in a difficult spot through large chunks of this game, I think Action's doing a really impressive job hanging on.
Oh, he super is, considering you got pretty build order counter there. And now that he has some lurkers out, you know, that's one thing that you got to consider as well. The fact that Shuttle is trying to do so many things. It's not like he has a bunch of observers out right now. It looks like he does have his observatory. I don't think he even has one at the moment. So these lurkers are actually, they're hampering his third Nexus timing and hampering the attack that was going towards Action's third.
Now, it seems like Action's going to be able to turtle on 3 bases, but the 4th base, we just had a shot at it. It's being taken now. That actually is a point where it could be attacked pretty easily. Even when you see a lurker burrowed there, the Zealots can a lot of times just kill the hatchery and run away. This is where this whole matchup changed quite a bit, where Protosses did get detection later and did stay on 2 bases longer, is when you really realize, okay, one lurker cannot keep a base safe. You cannot keep all the drones and the hatchery alive. So you're less concerned about that. We see that observer, for instance, now coming out on the map when there's this huge army here for Protoss.
Yeah, how many Side Storms are there going to be? Maybe 3 or 4, it looks like, at the moment. Some more units rallying up as well. This is going to be a hard hold. That is a lot of units.
Okay, he's going to try to come up here. Now this, I actually don't think is a good idea. Yeah. One Spore and lurkers spread out. It's so hard to get your observer to where you really need it to be.
Yeah. And then it's something that can be targeted down as well. Looks like he's going to try again. He just has so many units at the moment. Feels like he needs to do it, I think.
Well, I mean, if he gets these 2 lurkers in the front, I guess he could pull it off.
Look at this. The Hydra's in great positions. Look at those drones as well, kind of blocking everything.
Now, one more storm in that spot, and there's no more lurkers, and I think this position just falls.
Yeah.
Corsairs are continuing to chase around any more remaining overlords. The nightmare continues here for Zerg.
And I mean, that's 2 hatches and a big chunk of his economy.
Yeah. And there's still plenty of storms remaining on these Templars. So, I mean, a Zerg army trying to run up onto the high ground, I can't imagine that's going to work out well.
Yeah.
Although it seems like right now Shuttle might be slightly preoccupied.
Actually, 2 of those don't have a storm, so unless that, yeah, he has 1 storm left there. You will have some more pretty soon.
Yeah,
there you go.
One more right now. Okay, he did get rid of the observer. He's going to probably have to take out that forge if he wants to get out of his base for the pylon.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, too, for Action, I mean, trying to attack up into this area, Protoss is fine leaving his army there.
Yeah, and he's going to come out with another big army as well, whereas Action right now, he's retaking bases, but he's basically a 2-base Zerg right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm wondering about this next attack up here, too.
He's getting into Hive, Tasteless. I've heard good units are Adrenal, Zerglings, and Defilers.
Yeah,
Can you
I think I read that somewhere. I think you're right, Artosis.
I think I read a ZVP guide somewhere, and it said that those 2 units can be detrimental to Protoss winning a game.
But honestly, I think that Action really is the one that's in trouble right now.
Oh, I mean, for sure.
This is a very uncomfortable position to be in here. The fact that so much has been invested in just trying to take out everything that was guarding this. The next push, which by the way is supplemented with a lot of extra Dragoons.
Yeah.
Against a Zerg that's already supply-wise in an inferior spot. Dude, I think he just can walk over him, right?
It definitely feels
that way. He might
even
want to attack the natural.
But you know what? If he can hold on with solid lurker defense and get into Adrenal and get into Defilers, then maybe there's a comeback potential here. Shuttle doesn't have his 3rd up in mining yet.
Okay, there's so many lurkers here. This isn't going to go ideally here with these Zealots. Zealots are only okay against lurkers if they can get to the point where the lurker spikes are shooting in different directions. You basically need to surround. Yeah. But I think overall with this push, Shuttle is again going to knock Action off of a position that he could have used to mine from.
He might, but he's losing a lot of Zealots moving in. I don't know how many Side Storms he really has left right now, but when the Dragoons are alone, that's going to be easy to clear. So he's got to keep rallying in.
He's reinforcing it. If you can just get 1 or 2 Dragoons to be hitting this hatchery, that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And then the Zerg comes out, it doesn't trade favorably like we're seeing here. So I think he probably should get this position. You're right in the sense that like only Dragoons are pretty bad, but even if it's like 4 or 5 Zealots that are just streaming in, that's usually enough to soak up additional damage. And now it's again going to be action on 3 bases. And the next position is something else that could be pushed pretty easily.
Well, he's killed yet another base here of Action. Action trying so hard to hold on, but you know what? The actual supply deficit isn't as bad as it could be, I guess.
GG.
I gotta say, after that game, like Shuttle wins game 1, right? I'm actually even more confident that Action is going to take this series now after that game. Well, Shuttle went double Stargate Corsair, which obviously Action did not know about, and Action went Mutas, right? So he was really heavily countered from the get-go, but he played very well from there. Don't you think? Like, he was holding on when he shouldn't, and like he knew every little trick in the book to try to come back.
I agree.
It didn't work
for when he kept trying to push up into that 3rd base location that was destroyed. That's the dream for Protoss, to have some of their army on high ground after you've already won the fight, and you get to basically pick favorably, like they're trying to push into you. I think he probably should have had a few lurkers on the low ground to keep that contained, and had the rest set up to keep those other bases safe.
No.
He basically was still trying to fight for a location that he had already lost long ago, pushing up that with lurkers.
I see. Well, regardless, I am still on Team Action here tonight, Tasteless. I think he's got it, man.
I am still on Team Shuttle. We will be back in just a little bit with Game 2 after this short break.
게임 캐릭터들의 독한 하루.
인터뷰는 나중에요. 지금 너무 바빠요.
비지! 슈퍼 비지!
스케줄이 감당이 안 돼요.
오늘만 몇 판째인지 무슨 일이 난 거죠? KT와 갤럭시 노트 9이 만났죠.
4대 인기 게임 스페셜템 받고 게임 데이터까지 무료니까. 게임의 즐거움도 갤럭시 노트 9도 역시 KT.
Life can be black and white. We need a little color. That's what I'm searching for. Feels like I'm driving blind. I need a little summer. I need to feel the warmth, the touch, the taste. I'm feeling all my senses going off the way that you do. I'm off the flame. I finally got the message. Is it love? Is it love? Is it love? It's like I'm burning alive. You are the fuel in my fire tonight. I'm burning alive. I gotta take it to ride tonight. Let's just try. Let's just try. Let's just try. Let's just try. Her body lights the streets. Sometimes the beauty's blinding. I let her take my soul. Oh,
we're back at the ASL. We've just seen Shuttle win game number 1, but Action looked pretty good. I mean, the fact that Shuttle basically hard counted him
blindly
with Corsairs when he went mute, and Action was hanging on. Did look like he still had somewhat of a chance despite a pretty impressive lead taken by Shuttle early on. I think this should still be a pretty even series.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really do think so. We're going to see a lot of power out of Action throughout. I think it's like, it seems as if they both had in their mind these ideas, like 2 Stargate, Corsair, and Muta before the match. Maybe, I guess that Shuttle outpredicted him or something, but it was a hard counter. So unless we keep seeing those, I think that these games will get very, very close, and I think we're going to see just how strong Action can be as we get later into the game if he hasn't been completely destroyed beforehand.
I'm also wondering, for instance, we're on Neo Transistor. There's a lot of tricks that Zerg can do early on to try to kill a Protoss. Of course, there's always risk involved with that if it doesn't pay off.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, maybe we need to see Action be a little bit more of a brawler early on.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Neo Transistor is such a funny map, right, with the double ramp. For instance, this is the map that you're most often going to see a hatchery first or Nexus first or a command center first, whatever. Right. But also Gateway Expand is going to be kind of important. It's also one of the more popular maps for things like 2 Stargate Corsair, because Hydra Busts just don't really occur. You know?
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's not a viable strategy, to be honest.
No, I mean, it's a really good point, right? I mean, Hydra Bus is the one map where you probably won't have anything like that. The double ramp, of course, is an abusable, sensitive point for the Protoss, but I feel like this map has been out long enough that I think top-tier Protosses should have a handle on it. It's not like the first time we saw this map where you know that's going to be a headache. You know someone's going to have some secret, some way to attack in there that could maybe disarm them. And the next map, by the way, is Autobahn. One-on-one maps do allow for some new, fresher strategies if the players elect to utilize them. Autobahn going to be very cool to see with these two guys. Again, guys, Shuttle right now with a 1-0 lead. Action, if he loses here, he would have to have a complete reverse sweep. So probably
tough.
Probably very important for the makeup, for the whole pacing of this match between these two guys, that Action can really close it and play a strong game. By the way, our game is now ready. Let's do this. Action versus Shuttle.
Now playing on Neo Transistor.
Thank you, Robot. The game is ready. Are we hearing no cheers in the audience, by the way? Hold on. Let's wait for it.
Yeah, I don't know. These guys definitely do have a good fan bases. It's actually pretty full in here today.
Yeah, the studio filled up a lot more than I expected it to today.
Yeah.
I mean, Action really is, compared to these other guys, quite an unknown player, you know, with the prominence of other players that are in this tournament. I like this, though. I like when we have somebody who has not performed incredibly well start to do well, especially when the game's been out for this long.
Well, it actually does take many, many years to start to fulfill your potential. And then even when your level starts getting there, you have to play, most people have to play a lot of stage matches before they kind of get over those nerves and can play their regular game on stage.
Yeah.
People would be surprised if you haven't played any like games competitively or in front of people or anything like that, how difficult it can be when the pressure's on.
Yeah. Is that Shuttle?
Yeah, I think it must be. It's more Shuttle signs here.
By the way, quick pool here. That's a pool
that's
on
straight up a
9.
9 pool, yeah.
So this was one of the, that's going to sound weird when I say it, but let me see if I can get it out. It sounds clean. This is the first really sneaky, solid, good build that Zergs came up with that abused micro. Now, it's not a pull into gas where he keeps the gas, though. But you have to know the Lings are going to come out at a pretty unusual time. They might not be speed Lings. But I'm wondering if and let's see how the timing goes with Shuttle, because Shuttle's not made a forge yet. I believe Action has actually just mat this out perfectly and use an inefficient opening, assuming he would want to go into a super late game. It would be an inefficient opening, but I think he's got a good read on what Shuttle's going to do, and I think Shuttle just dies and Lings run him over.
He is dead. He's not going to live through this. So another hard counter we have here, a harder one than in the previous game maybe, but you know, this is the thing. This is the map where you see the Nexus first more than any other map, and he was expecting maybe for Action to go for a hatchery first, and this would be a great counter to that.
By the way, he went gateway behind us.
Yeah, there's just
this is so greedy
is 0
from Shuttle.
0%. It's over.
Yeah. So there's just no way. So a lot of times we'll see players park on 13 probes and get a Nexus and a Forge.
You see his face when his probes. He just shook his head. Because he knows he's dead.
Well, he can try. We've seen miracles happen with Micro, especially with workers. Yeah. But I don't know if he has any good drilling position, really.
Well, he can drill to his natural, so
yeah, but I mean,
works,
you actually, I think, ideally would want to be able to drill down.
Yeah.
Like out like this.
That's true. That's true.
And then you want to try to catch all the.
Well, he's just trying to get his Zealot to finish so that he has something to help these probes.
Now, if Protoss survives this and doesn't really lose that much, Protoss is actually probably fine.
Yeah,
if they can get this walled off. Now, I don't know the exact math on this. Can they actually stop this gateway before the Zealot comes out?
Yeah, I think it's going to die just before the... Oh, no, the Zealot gets out.
And how funny, it gets out on the other side here.
Yeah. But still, that Zealot, I mean... with more Lings coming up.
Yeah. I'm not even sure how many more workers are actually mining right now.
The amount of probes he's losing, his economy is just nothing now. I want to see how many probes he has mining.
Now, that being said, Zerg does actually not have a lot here either.
But he's still making Lings, and there's no actual follow-ups. He's making a Forge, so as long as the next Lings come in before a cannon finishes, it's going to be enough to kill the Zealot. A Zealot can theoretically kill like 4 Lings. So when you get 5, 6, 7,
yep, that's it.
It's over.
Okay, Action did his homework, and that's basically a free win.
Yeah.
Saying, you know, Protosses tend to play this way, and there's one way I can kill it, and if as long as I execute it correctly, you've knocked Shuttle out of everything he practiced for. And look at the frustration here with Shuttle. Think of how many days he's prepped for that map alone.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
absolutely.
The rug's been pulled out from under him, a big psychological blow, and Actions now balances out 1-1.
And, well, you know what? It is a hard counter. You could see the look on his face when he scouted those Lings.
Well,
there's just nothing you can do at that point.
Shuttle looks very frustrated. I mean, he basically just got played.
Yeah.
He got served, Artosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it happens. You want to take a risky strategy like that to get an edge, as Shuttle did, then you're going to die sometimes.
Great play there by Action. Now we're going to go to Autobahn, which is our one-on-one map. Sometimes Protosses will do the double gate proxied, try to punish Overpool. So let's see if anything like that happens. But first, a short break. We'll be right back.
대결의 시작하겠습니다.
Now playing on Circuit Breakers.
시작 자체는 서로 무난하게 시작을 했었죠. 자, 오버풀과 선포지.
네.
그 대규모의 그 히드라들을 모았을 때 프로토스로서 어떻게 대응을 해야 될지 참 투포지 굉장히 빠르죠.
네. 방법이 없어요. 상대가 이 타이밍에 해처리 잔뜩 늘려놓고 드론도 풍족하게 찍은 이후에 계속해서 해처리 늘려가면서 기본 병력으로 이런 그러니까 하이템플러 나오기 이전 단계의 기본 병력으로 상대방의 질럿의 견제를 막아내고 입구 쪽에 캐논 계속 건설하게끔 압박감을 가하면서 데미지를 준다면은 주도권은 저그가 가질 수밖에 없는 거예요.
사실 확장 공사 들어가고 있습니다.
게이트웨이는 안말한 것까지 합해서 7개 정도가 지금은 돌아가고 있는 상황이라서
추가 처리 계속 늘려요.
예, 자 어마어마한 템플러 포지션이 이거 생명줄인데요.
네. 템플러가 앞서 오다가 지금 앞쪽에 있는 그 히드라를 잔뜩 녹여내는 데는 성공을 했습니다만은 먼저 성공을 때릴 만한 이 공격권이 없어요.
내려와요.
멀티를 중심으로 수비를 어떻게 하느냐인데 자, 스톰 한 발 한 발이 정말 소중하거든요.
예,
자, 왼쪽에 내려오는
왼쪽 다 여기도 한 방.
네.
자, 거기 왼쪽.
템플러의 스톰이 얼마 없다라는 판단하에
계속 내려오죠.
끝이 없습니다.
네, 물량이 쏟아지고 있습니다. 위에서 김정우 선수. 자, 들어와서 이제 조합 싸움에서 조합이 갖춰지지 않도록 지금 물량으로 밀어붙이고 있는 김정우 선수거든요.
네, 조합을 계속 깨는 거죠,
네,
결국.
그렇죠.
템플러가 없는 상태에서는 무조건 손해입니다. 이런 전투 자체가.
네.
질럿 잡아먹었고 야금야금 또 방어 라인을 또 캐논 방어 라인을 이번에는 또 깼고요.
네.
하이템플러 쪽으로
GG! 이 서킷 브레이커에서 85% 승률을 자랑하고 있는 김정우 선수가 1세트 경기 승리 따냈습니다.
네.
경기 준비 끝났습니다. 여러분 뜨거운 박수로 2세트 대결을 시작하겠습니다.
Now play on Sylvie.
자, 두 번째 시도를 조금 더 공격적으로 지금 하는 김정우 선수의 모습이거든요.
히드라 테크는 올라가 있는 상황이고요. 히드라 나오기 시작합니다.
그렇죠. 5분 때에 갈 수 있는 게 이게 973이라는 또 저그의 히드라 빌드 아니겠습니까? 네, 지금 타이밍에 맞춰서 일단 올리고 있는데
자, 전략을 걸었어요.
예, 바깥쪽에서 그러니까 외부에서 다크를 뽑아낼 수 있죠.
자, 들어와서 이거 하나가 좀 완성이 안 된 상황이거든요.
예, 외부 다크 이거는 캐논 더 지어라라는 어떤 그 압박 템플러 하다라도 지금은 해처리 쪽으로 몰래 잠입하는 데 성공을 하면은
네.
빨리 발견 못했을 때는 들어 싹 죽거든요.
그렇죠. 작전 걸었어요. 이번 작전이 중요합니다. 정민정
네.
선수.
네. 일단 오버로드가 없어요.
오버로드가 없어요. 오버로드는 앞마당 쪽에다가 몰아놨습니다.
그렇죠.
상대가 입구 쪽에 하이템플러만 모셔놨을 뿐, 캐논만 건설을 했을 뿐. 자, 이거는 지금은 기본적으로 뽑았는데 여기 아까 오버로드가 없는 사실만 발견을 하고 캐논 커세어는 빠졌는데 구석에 어쨌든 몰래 들어오는 데도 성공했습니다.
예, 시야가 없죠.
네.
하나 내려서. 오!
자, 시야가 아예 없어요.
네.
자, 반응 못하죠.
여기서
네.
썰립니다. 썰려요.
네.
꽤 썰려요.
계속
또
지금
썹니다. 또
예,
썰어요.
예, 지금은
썰고 또 썰고.
김정우도 히드라를 프로토스
썰고.
앞마당 쪽에서 움직이고 있었기 때문에
썰고.
자, 이게
13킬.
자, 김태경이
썰고.
김태경의 저그전에서 보여주던 미덕을 지금 보여주는 거죠.
네.
건물 한 번도 안 건드리고 드론만 싹 썰었습니다.
저 썰로 가요.
예, 어느 순간 본질을 봤는데 드론이 없어졌어요.
네. 자, 여기서 추가로 2기 더 왔어요. 3기도, 4기도.
와, 다크의 옥점은 좋은데요.
네. 이게 라인이 또 뒤로 많이 밀렸습니다. 게다가 드라군과 하이템플러가 숫자가 어느 정도 유지되는 가운데 계속해서 라인을 뒤로 지금은 밀고 있는 상황이라서
밀려요.
예, 저그가 뭔가 둘러치는 이런 공격 형태가 되지 않는 상황이거든요.
네. 스톱 타이밍 한번 좀 이용해서.
오른쪽에서 대박 났습니다.
예.
드라군과 하이템플러 그대로
밀어요.
유지되고 있어요.
와, 숨 쉴 수 있을 만한 시간 자체를 안 주네요.
네, 김정우의 타이밍을 다크로 빼앗는 데 성공한 정인종 선수가 1단을 맞추네요.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to go to Game 3 in just a little bit. It's tied up 1-1. We had Shuttle. It's kind of been a weird series. Shuttle basically hard countered what Action did, going to Stargate Corsairs, which just smothered the Mutalisk option for Action. Action was hanging on. He did a decent job, but Shuttle getting the upper hand, it allowed him to close it out pretty easily. And then in Game 2, it was a reverse situation where Action predicted exactly how Shuttle would open and did the one exact build which would automatically beat it. So these guys have prepped very hard. You can already see that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if we're going to have a game where players can develop and get on to even footing and we have more of a battle game, more of an action-packed game, but so far it's been a lot of very brainy stuff coming out on both sides here.
Yeah. Now this next map, Autobahn, it's an important one for Shuttle. They're going to fight.
Thank you, Artes. All right, let's go.
Now playing on Autobahn.
Okay, let's watch closely and see if anybody does anything crazy.
You were saying that you think Proxy 2-Gate is pretty good on this map?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be, absolutely. I mean, it depends on what the Zerg opens with.
Don't
You can
see
also
that
just
too
lose
often anymore.
miserably with it, but depending on how the Zerg opens. But let's wait and find out. One thing I've wondered about with this map is there's this weird little area. The neutral building is a factory, right? It's kind of on the edge.
It's like a
something
it is
like
on
a
the
power
edge.
plant or something.
Yeah, it's like a coolant plant or power plant or something.
Oh, from Hong Kong. Thank
What's
you for
up?
coming down. We love you.
Cool.
I'm wondering if that little neutral building area that can be destroyed is going to be utilized here. We did see crazy Hydra bus before on this map.
Yeah. Well, I think without any doubt, unless you're going for a gateway expand, that's going to keep the Zerglings back for a long time. And even then, basically when the Protoss withdraws from the map, there is no reason not to go around and kill those with Zerglings because it makes the Protoss play differently against. Oh my God, is he 9-pulling again?
Yeah.
Well, this is actually something that's kind of scary again because of those back coolant towers. There's like I think 5 of them stacked there.
Now he's
right.
gonna
They
keep
die
the
pretty
gas?
quick. No, he's not going to keep it. He is going to keep it.
Yeah, Tosis, I think he's going to keep it, buddy.
Looks like it.
I think you jumped the gun there. You forget how strong just 9-full speed is. So I was talking about this in the previous game, and then he canceled the gas, and I didn't look as cool as I wanted to look for all you guys watching. But this time I'm going to look really cool because this is what I was talking about, where this is like one of the first original super abusive strategies that Zergs figured out. Was, first of all, the Zergling's already a good unit. If I just rush and only mine 100 gas to get Zergling speed, and then I send everything else back to mine minerals, I can end up with a lot of speedlings out very quickly. It's hard for the Protoss to deal with unless they get some kind of a wall in, right? So this eventually went away in popularity when good Protoss has figured out how to wall off their expansions. But on this map, there's that little weak area. We don't have it on screen yet, but just to the northeast where they could carve through that.
And that is going to come into play without any doubt. You know, you have to cover with cannons here, but then if they just go around and get the coolant towers, it's like, oh my God, you know, you have all these different angles that the Zerglings can come in from. And when speed finishes, the probe scouting's done. Do you think it's worth it to send a second probe out, or is that just too much?
That's a good question, Artosis.
Because you can send one out right now and hide it so that you can actually check if they're making Zerglings.
I feel like that, I think you and I are on the same page on this one. I don't know if the pros would agree with us, but I think there's some merit to it. The thing is, and one of the reasons why this, oh my God, it's one hatch layer.
Wow.
Okay. I was going to say that generally speaking, unless the Zerg is completely insane, he's just going to make a couple lings. If he can't break you, you just make some more cannons. You usually have more probes in the long run.
Yeah.
But now he's doing also an extension of this really old strategy, one hatch layers. So
what do you think the layer is for?
I think it's going to be for drop.
For drop,
with lurkers.
Okay.
I think. So you can barely have enough money to get drop. I might be wrong too. Maybe it's even something like that's going to make my brain hurt, like one hatch Spire.
It could be Spire because all the defense is going to be at the front, right? So the 3 mutas fly into your main base and it's over.
It's basically the same thing on either side, right? If you drop the lurker, there's no defense in the main. If you send mutas in, there's no defense in the main.
Yeah.
Now notice how scared Shuttle is right now. He's got all these workers over here to help wall in. Action is creating the illusion of a real threat at the natural with those lings tearing that down. And of course, keep in mind that Shuttle is most likely thinking about stuff like Hydra busts, Zerg, maybe faking this into just massing up and getting a lot of drones out of his own, when in fact it is going to be, instead of the lurker drop that I thought it was going to be, it's actually going to be one hatch muta, but it's the same idea here.
And if you don't have the right defense against this in your main base, those 3 mutas will actually just make everything unmineable. It's not like you can just make Dragoons and chase them off. You have one gateway. That's not going to work. They're going to be there well ahead of the Corsair.
Now, we were talking about, would it be worth it to hide another probe and put it on the map? Yeah, because
in this case,
and he sent it in the main and just saw that Spire at almost 400.
Yeah,
you would just make some more cannons and laugh.
Yeah, action would be so far behind at that point, but you know, he chooses not to do it, thinking that action's not going to go this aggressive, I guess.
One thing to note for everybody that's watching, lings with speed are way stronger than lings without speed, but the real threat is that Protoss can't scout with a probe because the lings will always catch it. So there's a Zealot coming out now.
Yeah.
And I think Shuttle may be scratching his head saying, you only have 2 lings out there. What are you doing? You know?
Well,
it's just suspicious. Is this fishy enough for him to catch on?
I think right now for Shuttle, he's looking at this and saying, okay, you wanted me to over-defend. I don't think Shuttle feels like he over-defended here. I think he did a good job of skirting the line, right? 3 cannons, and then like he didn't even get a cannon in his mineral line for against those lings. But Now he's going to be in some trouble, Tasteless.
Look
You
at how
bring
cool
2
this
Scourge
is.
and however many mutas you bought, and that main base is not long for this world.
I guess Action's mathed this out so perfectly that he just has 6 eggs, hatching. Now you always get this one cannon here to cover the and I think you just made a second one.
Was that a second cannon or a pylon?
I think it's a second cannon.
That would be awesome for Shuttle.
Because I promise you, Shuttle's seen this before. It's just very rare, and I think he's going to be surprised seeing Action come out like this. Now, also, the Zealots, they spot that over there. The Zealots, of course, are still a threat. Okay, you need to, like, cancel probes and just make cannons.
Yeah, he's got 5 mutas here, so he's just going to right-click on those cannons immediately. And
okay, he actually targeted the wrong cannon.
Yeah, he did. Definitely a bit of a mistake there. Brings those Scourge back. He actually does need the Scourge to land.
Sometimes hotkeying cannons is very valuable here. Because if you can hotkey them to target down the Scourge, then the Corsair can start doing more damage. Now, there's a second Corsair out. It is going to get one of those mutas, right?
No, not quite. Yeah, one falls.
Okay, he gets one. So you're basically just trying to buy time. There might be one Dragoon making it the gateway here, too.
Well, he's doing everything he possibly can at the moment, but these mutas, like, it is so hard. If something's warping in and under attack, it is not going to finish.
Now, I don't know what's ever the natural. We don't have a shot of it yet. He's getting a second Stargate. Now, keep in mind, there's actually not a lot going on back here for the Zerg economically. So if Protoss can continue to hang on and keep the majority of his workers alive, there's still a shot. Now, he's going to try to run by with the Lynx, I think, into the main to get the closer off here.
Actually, wouldn't it be better, because the main is going to die no matter what, right? Wouldn't it not be better to run in and surround the cannons and just try to end the game?
Oh, okay. That's an interesting point. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is, see that one cannon to the right?
Yeah.
Where the workers are? That cannon, if there's still Corsairs out, it shouldn't die no matter what. Now,
well, this many mutas might be able to dive on that. It's those 3 cannons have a lot of damage output.
Yeah.
It's just like the main base. I don't think the mutas need help.
By the way, Shuttle's doing a pretty crazy good job of this. He actually got the second Corsair out. It's retreating. The Dragoons are coming in. There's actually cannons warping in on the corner over here.
Ooh, yeah, he's cannon pushing his own main.
Yeah. You can. It's funny because the fight takes a lot longer than you would think it would. Okay, that's unfortunate. It gets spotted at the last second.
Just barely,
But of course, the Corsair can come in here and do additional damage.
Yeah, not too bad. Oh, he's got to be careful here, though. Scourge. Oh, now he's got 3 Corsairs.
Look, man, if he could just actually keep the Nexus alive, I think actually Artosis Shuttle can reclaim this.
Yeah, maybe he can.
It's funny because on paper you'd be like, this is hard countered so easily, right?
Yeah.
But mutas don't actually kill, in small numbers, they don't kill stuff that quickly. Even these Dragoons coming out that don't seem to be doing anything, they're kind of buying time for more Corsairs to come out.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be a reckoning coming up here pretty darn quick, because this Nexus is about to go down.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something right away. Now, he may just opt to sack it.
He might say, screw it, because if he goes, look at this now. He's going into Corsair Reaver, which I love. I think it's a great choice for this situation, and especially considering it's Shuttle. This is like kind of his bread and butter.
You'd see he checks up there just to make sure there's no extra cannons being made. And he's tearing down a lot of the infrastructure here for Shuttle. Now, again, we're not really looking, our observer's not showing us the top left side of the map, but it's got to be noted here, there's not a lot of drones. I mean, a small number of Corsairs can actually win this fight.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean,
that's a big, big deal right there. This is everything that Action's bought all game long.
Yeah. That's the thing. You just, when you get in that situation, you just don't give up the fight. Zerg has had to sacrifice so much to get to that point. And again, the Corsair is just a better unit than the Mutalisk. And as long as you get enough of them, you're going to come out on top. But the Scourge...
Oh, another good catch.
Now we've got...
Dude, I'm torn right now, because I can tell that Action is the evil player here.
That's
right.
right.
And the side of good, the side of justice is Shuttle for sure.
Yes.
We've seen a 9-pool and then a 9-pool speed and a 1-hatch muta. Okay, this is a dirt nerd over here trying to kill Shuttle right now.
He's
okay, so I'm excited every time anything happens.
When you see that comeback where it's like, look, he's playing textbook. It's going to pay off.
Yeah.
So he has to be careful. He has to keep that fleet of Corsairs alive. Everyone that's picked off greatly diminishes the value of the the group overall. Corsairs are units, especially in this matchup, where you get enough of them and they become stupid good.
Yeah. But you know what? He's switching up into Hydralisk play. He's only got 3 hatches now, but taking a 4th at his 3rd base up at 12 o'clock. It's not like Shuttle can do anything very much right now. I mean, if he gets speed, he could go out with this Reaver and the Corsairs. You know, gets a speed shuttle. I guess you could go out with a slow shuttle, but that's where I get really nervous. If that thing gets caught, the game is really, truly over at that point.
This has always been a problem with Corsair Reaver, is that the shuttle or the Reaver just gets killed.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's a lot less overall strong than just having a lot of Zealots and High Templars. You know, Zealots, you can kind of leave them alone, and they'll probably do as much damage. If you screw up and the shuttle gets picked off, you're just done. So you kind of have all your eggs in one basket. Now again, though, that Corsair count, as long as Shuttle can keep these alive and not let these Scourge connect, he should be okay.
Yeah, he did lose 1 there. Looks like he does have to turn around for the time being.
Look at this. These Hydras coming in here to try to intercept this.
Oh! That was a good little interception.
Action is so good.
Yeah.
What is that, 3? Yeah.
But the mutas are getting pretty softened up, so he's got to be careful about that too.
Well, we need to see how much damage is going to be done now with the Shuttle and the Reaver, because behind this, if Shuttle's doing what I think he's going to do, he'll get some more gateways along with this. He could get a second Robo. Actually, I guess he's just going to stay on Corsair Reaver because he already has 2 Stargates. He never lost that second Stargate, so it's...
Yeah, and
maybe you just stick with what you have. I thought he might have to throw up a bunch of gateways here and try to push out later on.
You know, it kind of makes sense to me because Reavers are like, if it's a real huge mass of Hydras, they don't really do that much. But this game has been so low econ the entire time. All the hatcheries are coming so late and everything. It feels like a game where Shuttle can go for Reaver Corsair, which is, it's such an off-brand composition, but it's something that he personally is quite good at.
Sure, it's a good point. Keep in mind, too, it's hard for the Zerg to truly stop Corsair Reaver from roaming on the map. I mean, this Corsair count has gotten to the point where when they see the Scourge, they're going to kill them. You actually need to, draw the fire from the Corsairs on one side and then come in from behind or from a flank and try to kill them that way. It's really hard.
He's getting a Citadel now, so definitely teching up a little bit more. Gonna get that Zealot speed. Look at the mini-map, though. See all those red dots? Just so well done. Perfect vision almost everywhere here from Action.
Yeah.
Corsairs continuing to do a bit of work here around the map.
Ooh.
The mutas are going for the counterattack now.
One thing I got to point out, though, if you look at the mini-map, Action has Shuttle totally surrounded. It's going to be hard to get out.
Yeah.
By the way, this is so smart. Even to come in here and try to draw those Corsairs back, and he immediately runs away. Also, guys, with this unit composition, Corsair Reaver, it can be very hard to get a 3rd base that's not an island.
Yeah.
And we're not going to see that happen this time around because of this map.
Yeah.
So that's just another thing to try to watch for as this game continues to develop.
Action is starting to get pretty darn big right now. I'm not feeling super good for Shuttle, but, he does have his Citadel. Let's see where he goes from that. Is he just going to go for... Okay, he is going for the High Templar tech as well. So if you have those 2 different sources of splash damage, plus you have the air covered with your Corsairs, maybe you can make something happen at that point. But if it's going to be 4 bases against 2 at that point, oh gosh, you're kind of fighting from behind.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Burrowed units everywhere. And even the fact that that one's not burrowed over there, his burrow's just like, good, now he doesn't know what I'm doing, but there's actually a little burrow guy down there.
Dude, that's true. You can actually burrow and unburrow Hydras to try to catch things sometimes as well. It's not used very much, but against something like a Shuttle with Reavers in it, that can be a viable strategy, or a tactic, rather.
Okay. My concern, though, is that the overwhelming number of Hydras, despite having Reavers out, they might just end up swamping at this area. Now, let's see.
God.
Oh my God, he got the Shuttle.
Yeah.
That's big.
Zealot's trying to block right now. This is not going to live. There's no way.
Hold on, let's see if he gets one more shot off.
Holy crap.
I know. The way that Reaver was pulled down to the bottom right.
Yeah. The Zealots were blocking beautifully on those Hydras as well.
Yeah. So, Protoss is going to be very satisfied with this, to be honest. This is actually going really well. It's 4 bases for Zerg. Now, he's got a lot of hatcheries here to produce. You know, a Reaver and a bunch of cannons and just a few units to block, that will hold off such a ridiculous amount. I mean, it's all with that. How many units can you grab in one control group in StarCraft 1? It's kind of hard to move 4 or 5 control groups of Hydras.
Up a ramp.
Up a ramp.
With eggs on it.
Yeah.
And things shooting at them and Zealots in the way. It certainly is difficult.
Okay, so a push coming in here is going to be the plan from Action. I don't believe this is going to work that well either, though. It seems like Action might need to back off and actually just turtle.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's nothing else is going to be that effective. Now, you know what? The Mutas and Hydras can actually switch between what position they're going to hit pretty easily as well.
You know, he's got so many hatches at this point. He's got 7 hatch. He's going up to Hive. He's got a ton of Hydras out on the map right now. I feel like Action can sit back, and it is going to be very hard for Shuttle to do any damage to him, but Shuttle on 3 bases is something you've been talking about. If you can actually secure that 3rd base, actually have High Templars out, especially in a situation like this where he already has enough Corsairs that we can't see the game go the way that Effort Reign did, where, you know, the Templars are picked off ad infinitum, right? It's just...
Yeah. Well, it's funny because from here, I think there's a few things that we got to note. First of all, Shuttle has the top right. That's going to be hard to break. The natural seems to be okay, but the main actually could be dropped. We have Hive Tech out now. And the Corsairs seem to be more drawn up to the top.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Protoss can't afford to lose that location either.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Protoss, especially Shuttle, on 3 bases seems to be okay. I mean, we're also seeing from the builds that are being played out here, Action doesn't want these games to go on for that long at all. If he can take a win right away, he will. This game was set up by Action to have ended like over 10 minutes
You
ago.
wanted this game to be done immediately.
We were already supposed to be in the middle of game 4 right now, but Shuttle, with like a miracle, basically held that off, reclaimed his main. We're now into a long, drawn-out PvZ where the tech is here, and I think Action's very uncomfortable with that.
Well, the thing is, he is so strong mechanically in the late game, and he is kind of well known for his skills in using things like Defilers, so I'm not too worried for him. I know it got here in a really weird spot, but the fact that now he's taking his 5th base, I feel like he's still got the fight in him, Tasteless.
No, I agree with that. Good pick up there. He's going to try to move out. Now these Corsairs, with Shuttle speed, if you can control it right.
Oh, good catch.
Yeah. Oh my God, does he get it? No.
Oh!
No, he doesn't. 28 HP on that hatchery.
Did you see that morph? The Hydros morph, because it was right next to the Zealot, you can do things like a morph.
Oh yeah,
and displace the Zealot.
Yeah.
You can like prevent an attack and a half from that, like that.
It's so cool.
Yeah, every little move though. These guys are just such consummate pros, man.
Okay. Does Action actually have too much? I mean, a 160, or sorry, a 180 supply. Actually, swap the supplies for a second. He's at 180, which means he has a way bigger army. I mean, granted, Reavers and Templars, the kind of damage they can do, depending on how clumped up the Zerg army is, that's something you gotta respect. I mean, Action's really taken what was a really scrappy, weird early game, and now we're into a game where both sides are almost maxed out.
Well, just looking at the size of Action's economy and the fact that the Defiler mount is done, like when Plagues start coming down, Plague is just such a useful tool in a situation like this. But, you know, with the Reavers and everything, the Dark Swarms won't be quite as strong. He's got the Psy Storms already out there too, so.
Okay, trying to come forward now. I don't know, dude. Action has a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, this army might get completely swallowed up by the Zerg. Okay, but you can see Shuttle's going to try to hug the wall here.
Ooh, he saves that Shuttle. Really actually tried hard to get it, too. The Reavers and Archon's doing a great job against these Lings coming in, but he's not really pushing Action back yet.
Well, Action, I mean, this is difficult for Action to attack in. I mean, with his army being this big and the limited number of control groups he could really utilize in a mechanical sense. Shuttle's continuing to come in, though. And you know what? These are the kind of trades that, frankly, I think Shuttle was looking for. The Dragoons are all that's left, but of course Dragoon Reaver could still actually fight off a decent amount. We don't know what the next macro cycles are going to come, or what they are going to be here for Shuttle, excuse me.
Great Reaver micro in here. Looks like he'll finally lose that shuttle, so the Reaver going to have to stay its ground. A lot of lurkers coming up and burrowing as the Zealots run in on top of them. Another good storm at the top, but Action still has a lot. I see this big red group in the middle. What is there?
Oh, that's probably just nothing but tons of Hydras and Lings.
Yeah, and Overlords. And some Defilers in there, geez.
You know,
a little bit of everything.
The problem is, even though Shuttle got back on his feet, it seems like Zerg developed enough that this is that classic situation where Protoss doesn't get to leave his base.
Yeah.
So hard to fight against. But let's see. Sometimes you get these really tenacious Protosses that do manage to break free.
All right. You know,
also, you know, if Protoss could take the location just to the upper right of where the screenshot is, I mean, he can make a Nexus there, cannon up, and the game goes on, right?
Yeah, the cannons have a little bit less power now that Defilers are out, but... And the thing is, Shuttle's economy is drying up. He's actually only mining off one base. I feel like this is like his last little hurrah right now. He's running around, he's going to try to get a base, but Action is going to suffocate him.
Well, he can also set up with lurkers over here and try to deny other units coming out. This isolates the little army up at the top. Yeah, I think even though the game did not exactly end the way that Action had intended, it seems like he should be in a pretty good position. Shuttle, and I think what is probably a little bit too ambitious of a move, is going to try to come across the map and do some damage of his own. I think not fully realizing until it's going to be too late just how much Action actually has.
Yeah. No, I think the writing has been on the wall for a while. A plate comes down, and there's nothing left here. I think Shuttle just has to GG.
We should see GG, yeah, any second now. There it is. GG. All right, Action up 2-1.
Well, these guys doing some very decisive build orders today against each other. But our big macro map is coming up next in Circuit Breakers. Although it is Zerg favored.
Will it be, though? I mean, we've seen what Action's already willing to do, Artosis.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But if you're going to play a regular macro game as Zerg, this is the map. Like, this is... Protoss have a very hard time securing a third gas.
What if Shuttle's saying that too? I'm so worried about securing my third gas, and then Hydras come and tear down his entrance.
Yeah.
Could happen.
That could happen, you're right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Action is playing way, not like gimmicky, I don't know how to say this. He's pulling a lot of fast ones.
He certainly is.
It's funny too, because there's a chance he faces off against Mini later on, so it's like, how many tricks do you have up your sleeve exactly, man?
I know, right? Well, you got to plan one series at a time when you're Action.
I actually couldn't agree more. I think that you're right. Look, just get to the next round. You're smart. You've got a wealth of experience. Once you get to the next phase, we'll come up with something else. Action, by the way, who's been growing immensely in popularity here in Korea, as we don't get a lot of new faces getting deep in tournaments. A couple Protoss players, I guess, lately have been, kind of coming up.
Yeah.
But as far as Zergs go, it's been a lot of effort, sulky, Jaedong attention. So let's see if Action can pull it off here in Game 4 right after this break.
Dirty sneaking tricks.
ASL Season 6.
게임 캐릭터들의 독한 하루.
인터뷰는 나중에요. 지금 너무 바빠요.
비지! 슈퍼 비지!
스케줄이 감당이 안 돼요.
오늘만 몇 판째인지 무슨 일이 난 거죠? KT와 갤럭시 노트9이 만났죠.
4대 인기 게임 스페셜템 받고 게임 데이터까지 무료니까. 게임의 즐거움도 갤럭시 노트9도 역시 KT.
No mercy for anybody. I will be a force in nature. done with hiding in the dark. I'm gonna build an empire on my own. The world will be my throne. Oh, let out the ocean, let out the underdog, rise from the ashes and roll. Oh, let out the ocean, let out the underdog, rise from the ashes and soul. No.
The time is now.
What's up? We're back. Action for Shuttle Game 4 is going to be starting momentarily. Action with a 2-1 lead, and he's coming here with some very, very specific build orders, some openings that there's certainly risk there, but a lot of reward, and that reward is what he's been getting in Game 2 and 3.
I guess it set up the match in a very difficult way, like you were talking about, how Shuttle might be thinking, oh God, is something cheesy going to happen to me here on Circuit Breakers? Because this is the best map for just straight up macro from Zerg, to be honest. Sure. So, yeah, it's a tough one for Shuttle.
To be honest, Action has not tried to play a normal game yet. I mean, in Game 1, he was shut down by Shuttle, but Shuttle kind of blind countered him.
Yeah, and mutas are not the
We've not really been able to cast a normal PvZ today, guys.
No.
We've gone into the outskirts of the matchup, to the crazier builds, the ones where you're really
if I listen to your ladder stories, the normal play of
what
the ladder.
What happens to me when I play online? No, seriously, this is very cool to see. Now, will we have a standard game? The map certainly allows for it, but there's always a trick on any map. There's always another way to play. And I don't know what it's going to be this time around, but we're going to find out. Guys, if Action could get to the top 4 of ASL, that would be crazy. Shuttle, a previous ASL champion, is here to defend himself, but he's had a bumpy road so far.
Okay, Circuit Breakers. This is where Shuttle must win to come back and bring it to that Game 5. I don't know, though, Tasteless. It's a tough one.
It is. Let's go. Game 4 is ready. Action versus Shuttle.
Now playing on Circuit Breakers.
Oh, you hear that? It's like a chair with 4 people. Only on one side, too. Okay, Zerg's in the bottom right. It's Action down there. And in the bottom left, on the other side of the map, is Shuttle.
This could make it a little bit more interesting than a lot of the games that we do see on this map, right?
I think so.
Because of just kind of the positioning of these third bases. Like, normally, PvZs here, we see both players take the third base as that mineral base, and then oftentimes the fourth base will actually be the, well, obviously it's one of the gases in the center a lot of the time, but because they do share that and there is that little attack path, I'm interested to see how that is going to change things up here.
Okay. Action, are you going to do anything weird? Shuttle, if your cybernetic score finishes, are you going to do anything weird? These are the questions that must be asked. We have the Overlord here of Action going north. Keep in mind, this is a 4-player map, unlike our previous map, so you don't know exactly where your opponent is. And there's definitely different ways to play different positions on this map.
Yeah. Now this specific probe scout is just to check if the Overlord's over there. You have a 2/3 chance of spotting it and knowing exactly where your opponent is.
You're trying to scout their scout.
Yes. It's a popular thing to do, and he knows exactly now that Action is in that bottom right position. Looks like a very normal opener here from Action and Overpool.
I think Shuttle's going to be pretty happy with this. If a Protoss can see what the Zerg's doing to start things off, you eliminate a lot of risks.
Yeah. You definitely get all those timings in your head of, okay, I see exactly what this is. Overpool, when do I need my cannons up? When can I sneak in my Nexus? Probe now gonna slightly harass the building of this hatchery at the natural.
Yeah, you just want to try to block this as much as you possibly can. Try to buy time, push that Zerg way over 300 in minerals, but eventually it does go down.
And the Forge into the Nexus here for Shuttle.
And this is one of these builds where everything is mapped out very nicely, but if you make any little mistakes here, like you interrupt one of your probes from going back to bring back minerals or something, sometimes the cannon gets up late, but usually you should be okay.
I think he will be fine this time. I guess he does hatch 4 links and sends them directly out. No, they turn around. So he's seen the timing with his drone and all that. Overlord on the way over towards that natural.
So we're waiting to see where that third hatchery is going to be for Action here. Now, I don't know what that drone is doing down there.
Well, could it be a proxy hatchery for a Hydra win?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Action is just...
God.
He is bringing the ultimate cheeses today.
Wow. So, it's funny because I almost wanted to say that. I thought, okay, I got to calm down. I'm sure that drone's going to be sent back up, and then it just...
Yeah, but why would he send it right there? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so keep in mind there's a probe still scouting.
Yeah, and he should be looking for the third base relatively soon here, right?
But he's not. He's going in between the main and the natural, which might end up screwing up the strategy because eventually you're going to want to have your layer started if you're playing normal, which he's not, by the way, or you'd want a Hydralisk Den started because you're trying to do some kind of an all-in.
Okay, so I think why he's got the probe here is he's just looking for a layer to start.
Well, this is a smart technique here from Shuttle because if there's no layer,
then it's all in.
Then it's all in, right? So it's like you don't have to scout the third to get the confirmation. You can also simply look around and say, no.
Yeah, I mean, the layer should have been started by now. The Hydralisk Den is in the natural. Can he get there and scout it?
Now, of course, you could make the layer somewhere else as well, right? You could be making the layer at your natural, too.
That's true. That's true.
Like, you could, Artosis, be making that layer at that hidden hatchery, right?
Yeah.
I mean, geez. How would he know that?
It's an option as well, I guess. Look at this probe, still alive. Is Shuttle sniffing this out, Tasteless?
Well, the larva that was remaining there might have telegraphed it. There's 2 or 3 larvae in the main.
Oh my God. This rally is going to be so fast.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty crazy. Okay, so the way this is set up, and also note the way that the cannons are set up here too. Protoss has the cannon kind of far back, so all the Hydras can't just be on top of it. But once you kill 1 or 2 of the cannons, oh man, I mean, you're just in so much trouble.
Okay, he sees the Hydra. That was a mistake.
He revealed it. That was a big error.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he showed it that early. He doesn't have that many over here.
This might allow Shuttle to sandbag the rush enough to where it doesn't do anything. And Zerg is like, this is really bad if Zerg doesn't make this work because the hatchery is completely useless down there at the bottom. So he might cancel all probes and just keep making cannons.
Well, I think that's what he should do.
That's all you need to do. Okay, he's not Jadon when he does this, is he? Now, the Forge
maybe
as
the
well.
Hydra rally went into vision by accident, and he's like, oh crap, I guess I have to go. It's not like I have a scout Hydra. Okay, he's going to see where that hatchery is, and that's going to probably prompt him to make even more cannons.
Yeah, well, you look at this and say, okay, there's just not.
Look, the action's expanding again. He's like, uh-oh, this isn't working.
So when the Forge dies, you can't make any more cannons, but I think there's already more than enough cannons up that this just isn't going to do anything. Now, you got to be careful. We've definitely casted our fair share of games where it looks like there's no way that anybody should be able to recover, and then the Zerg actually does come in and just close it out.
Well, I don't know if that's going to be the case this time.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling very confident in him actually breaking through here.
Artosis,
oh, he canceled one of the cannons.
I know. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Oh my God!
Is there an Overlord over this?
There is one Overlord over it.
What is he doing?
He's mining from his base, man. That's his base. That's his third base, Tasteless. I told you they take the mineral bases as their third, Tasteless.
Wow.
What mineral base? I didn't say, Tasteless.
Why is he mining from there? It's so weird. I really want to just see one cannon made on that high ground and shoot down the hatchery.
Yeah.
It's like not efficient at all, but
feels right.
Feels like justice.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you put your hatchery there because you can kind of mine from it. If it doesn't work, watch this.
Yeah, you can mine. I mean, only a few drones. He's not mining from the really bad patches, at least. That base right now just looks like, you know, one of the original ladder maps.
Okay, hold on. DT's out.
Oh!
Goodbye.
That was sick. Get out of here, drones.
Go, 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 go.
Oh, he's going for the big prize.
Well, how many Overlords are actually over here? I guess they're all clustered right here at the natural.
Yeah, his layer is so late that he doesn't have Overlord speed. Is that just a hatch? Yeah.
Now, did Action realize that this
I
Dark
don't think he
Templar,
did.
this Kate Boy, is on the loose? Doesn't seem like he had his screen over it. He hasn't reacted in any way.
The Kate Boy is just sitting there, Tasteless.
I know. What's he doing? What's he doing with that? He's not
just
moving
chilling. There we go.
All right, Tastosis, I'll kill him.
I'll get him for you. All right, well, that's definitely an efficient DT so far. 4 kills.
Yeah, and of course, he could just run out.
That other base has even more drones, man. That's where he really needs to get a Kate Boy, too.
Yeah, I was actually surprised he didn't go there first, but I guess it's probably better to kill what's over here now.
Okay, taking out the larva even. Very nice. Good scout. Oh, man, look at how many gateways there are. I'm feeling so good about Shuttle right now.
Yeah, no, he's looking excellent. I also wonder, when Shuttle comes out, isn't he just going to run over Action here? This is the problem, guys. The Hydra busts look very strong, but if Protoss survives it, Protoss was the one that was teching. Even if they had to stop everything to make cannons, they're still going to have enough probes out here. They still end up with a really powerful engine where they can crank out a lot of units, and they're going to have Storm.
Oh my
God.
Shuttle is just destroying right now.
Look at that. 3 kills.
A 9-kill DT all on drones.
Okay, Action, I hope you have a crazy cheese for Game 5, too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, you know.
If he were to hold this, how would he do it? Lurkers?
I think you just turtle, I think.
The thing is, he can't lose that third right there.
No.
Or the game is just super duper
I think you just
over.
do a big lurker defense and just wait it out.
I think so.
You've basically eliminated your options for having map control, but you can still stay back and try to make the game go longer and try to come up with something there, you know, get a hive tech and stuff like that.
It's so few units right now. He has a little group of Hydras coming out, maybe to snipe High Templars, or, well, he's put some damage on the Archon. Oh, if he can get a High Templar with those, that's not bad.
Oh my God.
Oh.
This guy's got 10 kills now. I heard he has a different tattoo for each drone he killed. It's crazy.
Oh my God. This is such an epic DT, this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to name him. That's Dark Tasteless right there.
Yeah, man.
Not a Dark Templar, but a Dark Tasteless.
It's okay. I come back as a Stalker in the next game.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll see you at BlizzCon, Tasteless.
Yeah, no problem. The Lurkers are burrowing here, but I don't think there's enough overall defense. Wait, there's no Observer here?
No, there's no Observer, so the Lurkers deal a lot of damage.
But this is the funny thing is, I mean, they're going to come down, and I guess they can put on a little bit of hurt, but with some good storms and using that Archon Splash, you should be able to take this out.
Yeah, that is true.
If he decides to do that, I'm still waiting to see that moment happen here.
Yeah, I think we might have just seen it right there at the Archon, but that one hadn't been stormed yet. Well, the Lurkers, I mean, they've definitely done work. Down goes that Archon. I mean, but Shuttle just has so much.
Yeah, this is a story of one player trying to play standard and being rewarded. Actions continuously try to play super risky, super unpredictable, but at this point in time, I think the craziest thing he could do is try to play a normal game in Game 5, honestly.
Is that the craziest thing he could possibly do?
Well, I mean, what else is he supposed to do? Just cheese again, and by then, like, Protoss always has 3 cannons.
I tell you what, I think if he puts the shoe in his head and plays with the blindfold on, that would be crazier. But you are right. If he goes into a macro game, but that might be the least expected thing at this point, because this is like the really good macro map for Zerg. Look at Shuttle just patiently. He's like, yeah, now I take my 3rd base.
Yeah, he's just continuing to grow very gradually.
Yeah.
He knows that he could pretty much tighten the noose as each passing minute goes on, unless Action has a real major victory in one of these fights.
Gosh, I really find myself almost rooting for Shuttle right now as we go into Game 5, Tasteless.
Yeah.
This guy is weathering the storm that Action is sending his way.
Well, Shuttle's going to be pretty happy with that. But you got to think, man, geez, this guy is just he's trying to sucker punch me every game. He's trying to pull a fast one on me. And Action, who is so close to actually coming out on top, his plans are foiled. By the way, guys, Action walked that Hydra in Division.
Yeah.
The whole point is that
was
you're
a
supposed to
mistake.
surprise him. Well, it had to be, right?
Yeah.
No one plans to
You don't
walk
start the
Hydra
attack
there.
at 1 Hydra.
Yeah.
The
That's
1
not a
Hydra
thing.
timing attack.
Well, that's going to be pretty haunting for Action, because let's say that he had hidden that a little bit better, gotten there at the right time.
Might have broken him.
We might have already been closing out the show.
Yeah. We might be on our way home already, Tasteless.
That's right.
Shuttle making us earn our money.
I'm glad we got Game 5, though.
Yeah, I'm especially glad because the games have been like this. If it was like macro games the whole time, we go 4 games, I'm like, okay, that was cool. But the fact that it's just been like hard counters and cheeses nonstop.
Well, it's a good reminder of just how cheesy a Zerg can be.
Yeah.
You know, we tend to typecast that race as, you know, they grow and they're big and they suck up all the resources on a map. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the final game of the night in just a little bit, so do not go away. Action vs. Shuttle. Game 5 is coming up next.
ASL Season 6.
세 번째 대결이 시작하겠습니다.
Now playing on Autobahn.
자, 오른쪽에 중립 건물 깨고 있어요. 히드라 탱크.
프로브 정찰이 아직 다 채 끝나지도 않았는데 중립 건물 두드리면서 히드라 대를 올려버렸습니다. 뒤쪽에 본진 쪽에다가.
네. 추가 캐논 짓고 있어요.
네. 테크 안 올렸다라는 사실도 지금은 발견을 했습니다.
또 추가 히드라가 지금 오고 있습니다.
지금 다수의 캐논을 짓고 있고 또 안쪽에 있는 그 캐논은 쓸모없는 캐논이 될 수도 있습니다.
이길 수 있습니다. 지금 이 타이밍을 버텨야지만 하이템플러의 스톱으로 한번 쫓아내는 이런 상황이 될 텐데.
자, 바리케이트 쳐놓고.
스톰 한 방이
이번만 버티면
프로토스 버티나요?
기회가 생기는데요.
스톰 한 방이 너무나도 필요한 이런 시점인데 캐논 둘밖에 안 남았습니다.
안쪽에 있는 캐논이 도움이 안 돼요.
이 타이밍.
히드라가
이제 완성이 됐는데.
네, 기본 병력이 지금은 전혀 없는 상황에서 히드라가 부대 단위로 지금은 남았습니다.
김정우의 히드라가 다시 한번 정윤종 선수의 한번에 박살을 내면서 이번 경기 승리. 세트수가 2대1. 경기 좀 끝났으면 뜨거운 박수로 네 번째 세트 대결을 시작하겠습니다.
흔들리지 않겠다라는 이유로 빠르게 게이트 출발을 해서 질럿을 난입시켜서 상대방을 좀 흔들고 타이밍을 흐트러뜨려 놓지 않으면은 같이 먹고 출발했을 때 김정우의 압박감을 이길 수가 없다라고 정윤종 선수가 판단을 한 것 같아요.
추가 압박을 지속적으로 일단 또 들어가 봅니다.
그래야 상대가 드론을 안 찍고 계속해서 저글링을 좀 찍을 수 있거든요.
또죠.
그 지금 나중에 들어간 그 질럿 둘이 굉장히 지금은 효과를 많이 봤고요. 야, 3군데 동시에 3군데를 공격하고 있었습니다. 시선을 끌고 나 여기 있다. 체력도 많이 빠졌고 오버로드 때릴 테니까 히드라 나만 쳐다봐 라고 생각하고 있을 때 셔틀이 떨어져서 뭔가 다크템플러로 다시 한번
당한 입장에서 말도 안 되는 타이밍이거든요. 말도 안 되는 타이밍에 다시 두기가
썰고 또 썰고
계속해서 커서의 시야를 좀 빼앗겼기 때문에 이런 역동작에 계속 걸리는 겁니다. 자, 그거잖아요.
포지션이 중요한데요.
네,
자,
템플러 기본적으로 대비가 돼 있고 수비병력은 있습니다.
네, 자, 병력 좀 있고 들어와서 여기서
하이템플러가 없으면 요 정도 히드라가 떨어졌을 때 무조건 손해거든요.
그렇죠. 올라가고 있는 상황에서 양쪽으로.
네, 하이템플러가 프로브가 빠졌고 하이템플러가 뒤쪽에서 지금 수급이 되면서 뭔가 가스통 하나는 깨졌는데
네.
이후에 더 큰 손해는 지금 보진 않았습니다.
자, 이쪽으로 끌고 템플러 하나 있죠.
네.
두기 있죠.
드라군이
머리
뒷걸음질
위로.
잘 쳤습니다. 그래도 자, 한 방 더 있거든요.
두발 들어왔어요. 자, 병력 살아남습니다. 세 방. 예, 캐논이 지금 두 개. 지어져 있는 상황에서 질럿들이 먼저 붙었고요.
네, 크게 속지는 않았습니다.
네, 머리 위로.
네, 적으로서 압박을 많이 받고 있습니다. 예, 수비도 수비지만 단순히
예, 이번에는 역으로 뮤탈리스크 준비하고 있어요.
드디어 나왔어요. 대기.
자, 한방.
뮤탈 체력이 와 빈타 상태에서
네, 흐름을 한번 멈춰버렸었던 것 이것 자체가 굉장히 좀 스트레스가 다가올 것
가장
같거든요.
소중한 병력이
예 이게
템플러 잡아내면서 드랍이거든요.
그렇죠. 드랍들이 그냥 뮤탈과의 그 연계 눈에 보이는 그 템플러들 하나씩 다 잡아주면서
네. 자, 어쨌든 수비 라인은 견고하지 않을 수 있거든요. 자, 이거
수비의 집중력이 더 뛰어나냐.
제대로 맞았습니다.
자, 뮤탈.
네, 뮤탈리스크가 결국은 살아남아서 하이템플러의 스톱이 히드라 머리 위쪽으로 떨어졌어도 자, 일단은 병력들 위에 있는 병력들은 조금 정리를 해내는 이런 모습이고
상이가 하다 보니까 이 템플러들이
히드라 머리 위로 히드라 머리 위로
자, 누가 먼저 지지고 누가 먼저 템플러를 장리한 싸움이죠.
자, 히드라 머리 위로 위쪽에서 자,
놓았어요.
자, 이번에는 뮤탈스크가 아래쪽을 좀 쳐다보다가 이제는 뮤탈에 잘리기 전에 뭔가 하이템플러가 히드라 어딨냐 찾는 거죠. 자, 뒤쪽에서
병력이 서로 갈린 상태죠.
네.
저 위로 들어간 상황인데 이제 템플러가 좀 잘렸기 때문에
자, 템플러가 잘렸고 추가 확장 기지도 한번 취소당했습니다.
밀리나요.
결국 여기서 템플러 두 기만 있었더라면
이거 진짜 김정우의 매사냐.
아래쪽 이들아
김정우의 하이템플러 사냥
돌아온 야생매 더욱더 날카로워지고 더욱더 시야가 넓어졌어요.
The time is now.
Action or shuttle? Who's going to take it, Artosis?
Gosh, tasteless. Shuttle has been weathering the storm. There's been some mistakes coming out of action. That Hydra going into view of the gateway.
That was bad.
What a moment that was.
Yeah, I wonder if, maybe there's a little bit more stamina here with Shuttle. Action's come out looking strong. He's got crazy strategies, but Shuttle is slowly adapting. And, for all these crazy, cheesy strats you see, if you put these guys together and make them play, let's say, 100 games, it's starting to seem like Shuttle might be the guy that comes out on top.
Maybe, but, I mean, Action's been bringing mostly aggressive plays in this ASL so far.
He has to be doing it for a reason.
Yeah. The thing is, he can play that later game. You saw the games where it kind of went longer. He was definitely macroing well and playing some quality styles. What does he do here on Sylphid, though?
That was on the back of a very, he didn't win with his crazy strat, but he crippled Shuttle. I don't know, man. We're going to go to Sylphid. The game's ready. Let's go. The winner goes on.
Fight.
That Final Four spot. Action and Shuttle.
Now playing on Sylphid.
So we have Action in the bottom left. We've got Shuttle in the bottom right. So we started the series off on this map. We do make them for the final game play this map again. They've switched spawns though.
Indeed.
Shuttle was in the bottom left, and Action was in the bottom right.
Now this does allow him to scout first with his Overlord, so slightly better for Action in that regard. I'm just excited to see what Action has for us. Shuttle, I think he's just going to concentrate on keeping his probe alive and having enough cannons. That's really all he needs to do in these games, right?
Yeah. Okay. Shuttle.
Oh no, Alert Craig already! How did he do it?
I'm damaged goods. I've been hurt before. Okay, let's watch Action, actually. Let's see when he makes his pull. Looks like it's an overpull, at least for now.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of other weird builds you could do past that, right?
Well, could go hatchery first if he wants. At this point, he's got Shuttle so primed to prepare for cheese. Oh, a gateway.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Is he maybe going to go hatch first? And if so, how would that match up against a gateway expand?
Gateway's good versus hatch first.
Yeah,
you get in there right away.
Yeah. It is hatch first. Wow. Shuttle.
Well, here comes that probe to scout that. And what is that? The timing? Yeah, right. If he gets in there and the hatchery's there and it's right at about, I want to say like 150.
Oh, he knows, yeah.
Yeah, then he knows. You see that that's a 12 hatch for sure. So everything's going great for Shuttle here as far as builds go. Now, Protoss, I believe, is moments away from scouting that gateway.
Yes.
There's not much you could have done before that. You get the pull at the same time anyways.
Yeah.
But let's see what kind of damage Shuttle can do. On this map in the natural, I don't believe there's as many hiding spots or nooks you can plug your Zealot into.
Oh, okay. Do you, is there a certain amount of damage that you're looking for here, or is it just in trading efficiently and forcing the Zerglings?
It's just trading efficiently. I mean, I don't know if there's a magic number you could say, because sometimes you can do this where you don't really get drone kills, but you're still in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that they are not able to get anywhere near the number of drones out that they would like, because the Zealots it's a slow drip of Zealots coming inside the base that makes it scary. Now,
it's like a fancy coffee, but it's Zealots.
Exactly. And, you know, when you watch this fight happen too, keep in mind if Protoss screws up anything immediately, the Zerg can counterattack because you've delayed the Forge. So because of this, he gets to go right into the main. And because he gets to go in the main, he gets to also get behind the minerals when the Lings come out, which is where it gets very annoying.
That probe is going to go down, but he gets a drone already.
Now, here we go. He's going to go behind the minerals and wait. And the Lings can't trade effectively. Now we have the second Zealot come in up here, and that one can also go into the main.
Let's count how many drones he actually ends up losing. Two?
Oh, that's
two drones. That's actually really good so far.
You can get, I'm sorry, can the Zealot get on top of the bones there at Sylphid?
No, that is not walkable.
Okay. But see this position?
I know that skeleton tastes, you can't walk on that one.
And so you can see you can trade much more efficiently. Back here, the Forge is almost done. And we don't have a ton of drones here for Zerg.
No.
I mean, it's not terrible, but you know, he's kind of hurting.
Yeah.
But again, you got to be careful with this rush. A good counterattack can really hurt you. And it's not like this is a small entrance that he has to block off here. He needs at least some probes with the Zealot to try to hold that. And every time your Zealot gets cornered, you just send them back in one of those nooks. And the Zerg has to make the tough decision. Do I really want to try to fight this? I'm not going to trade very effectively. My Lings have to fight one-on-one, which is horrible.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Look how red those Lings are. That Zealot is out for blood right now.
Yeah. So he just goes back in that hiding spot.
Dude, that is his home right there. He lives in that little spot.
Look at this.
Sick
oh my
micro.
God,
I can't
it's
believe
so
that.
good. Okay.
Wow.
Well, you rarely see that.
He tried so hard there. Both of them really are trying to win this game.
This is where if you're playing online, you're trying to talk trash. Like, wow, kid, you really do want to win this game, LOL.
Yeah.
Gotta pause the game, say, go get a glass of water. Take a few breaths, okay? You're gonna make it through this.
Oh, that's a good one. You're so good at trash talk, Tasteless, I swear. People can say whatever they want about you, but you really are great at trash talk.
Thank you.
Okay, so it looks like action's going to revert into very normal play here. I think the same is going to be said for Shuttle. It does have that Stargate on the way. Is that a sit? Yep. So going directly into Citadel also. Not going to see any double Stargate shenanigans this game.
No, I think Shuttle wants to play the most standard game. I feel like even though Action has looked really scary in each game that he's played, Action's basically revealed that he really just wants to end the game fast. And if you're a Protoss player in a lot of ways, that would give you, I think, a little bit more confidence. Just be super vigilant, watch for everything, but remember that if you get into a long game, you're probably going to beat this guy. Because even though we were both talking about how Action is such a solid player and he grinds so hard, as far as I can tell, it seems like in a lot of these games, Action kind of had something to hide. He really didn't want to go into
he definitely
game.
Prepared for the series in that way. But the thing is, I think he really can play that solid macro game, and I think that's what we're going to have to see this time anyways, because he's doing a standard build here.
So these Zealots coming out here, they're eventually going to get overwhelmed by Lings. And it can be a little bit misleading when you watch this happen as to why the Protoss would be okay with this. You're still forcing out more Lings.
Yeah, that is a lot of links that he did have to build there. Now he has to choke this all up completely. There are 2 cannons, so as long as he doesn't have a hole in there, he should be fine. Of course, they're going to see that it is, in fact, a layer with Spire. He did not get to scout if there was a second gas as of yet.
The second gas was taken, though, right? At the
No.
No?
No, the third base doesn't have a gas here, and then you didn't take it. Like, if you take it, you're either faking mutas or you are going mutas, and that didn't work for Action last time. So I think when everything's on the line, he's being a bit more careful here. A bit more standard of play.
And this game really is sizing up to be one where Action's actually going to try to play something a bit more orthodox. Of course, very powerful, not passive, but just what, you know, if you're trying to teach somebody the game, this is sort of what you show them. You don't teach somebody a cheese to start things off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, both of them looking pretty strong overall. The DT on its way out right now. It's got to be vigilant about that. I think the Lings did see the DT coming out, so he should be watching for it specifically.
He's now trapped one of his probes behind his worker line, so he can put that probe in the group with the Corsairs to make them bunch up.
Just so they all shoot at once instead of stifled. Very important. Harder to micro against them.
Oh my God! He just walked right in.
Yeah.
There's just nothing here. Get something.
Yeah, only gonna get 1 and some Lings maybe. Oh, nice targeting there. Gets another drone. So not too bad. Got to get that surround though. Action. All right, there you go. Hey! Hey!
Get him!
It's really not that hard. You have like 40 Lings there. Just surround it.
Okay, he got that surround. It's always helpful if you can get in and get out with a DT.
Yeah.
Because it keeps that Zerg honest.
The amount of vigilance that you must maintain if you know there's a DT out, it's crazy how much attention that you have to put into that.
It's kind of weird because the DT can actually take a pretty surprising amount of damage in StarCraft 1 and then still run out.
Yeah. Well, so far everything, I mean, this is by far the most normal game.
Finally.
Far and away. A good way to decide the series. Let's see who's better in this macro scenario. The 4th base is being taken by Action here. How many hatches does he actually have? That's his 6th hatch at the 4th base.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's funny because he actually got no kills back there too.
Yeah. It's gonna go for the flank with those
Can you do
Scourge.
like the trick where you like try to like you make them like their mutas and try to get the Scourge to glitch out? Can you do that?
Oh, you can try.
Like patrol click on themselves.
You can try, but the Action's shown very good micro against things like that. Like he's being very careful with his Scourge, not just right clicking.
Oh my God!
Yeah, look at this. That is kind of what you're talking about there as well.
When I try it at home, my stuff just blows up. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I should probably learn how to do this, but. Okay.
Oh,
great control
good
there.
Flanks.
This is actually pretty bad right now for Shuttle.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Only 3 Corsairs remain. This is getting to a situation where we could see mutas popping out later on. To reduce that Corsair count enough. I don't know that Shuttle's going to remake them. I think he's really got to focus on his ground army now because Action hasn't really been that badly hurt. Sure, he got 2 drones early on and forced a good amount of Lings, but since then, Action's really been able to drone pretty heavily.
Okay. The Zealots are being pulled back here. Now, Shuttle's where he wants to be tech-wise, right? He's got a bunch of gateways up. I think there's a robo in the net. Am I wrong about this? Is there no robo up yet?
I didn't see a robo.
Sometimes it can be made of the natural. Maybe not. Okay, I'm wrong. Unless we see it somewhere else. But still, he's basically tech-wise got what he needs. He's got Templars. He's going to have Zealots. And he's going to look for a fight.
Oh, coming out. He doesn't have the size storm there quite yet. Here it comes, though. Very nice storm.
He's going to keep edging forward here.
Yeah, the Hydras have to be pulled back. He just does not have enough to deal with Shuttle's army right now.
Can Action finesse his way through the raw strength of what Shuttle has here?
Yeah.
And note, he's not going to play that game.
Yeah,
he's going to stay on the move here.
Gosh. He's gone into a few mutas because that Corsair count did get so reduced. The Archon is scary, but everything else the mutas can really have a good time against.
Well, I don't know about that storm. Mostly getting his Zealots there.
Maybe a bit of a panic.
Well, he's got to be careful. Okay, hold on. There's two more Templars coming in here. I think Shuttle might just break them here.
Yeah, it's kind of looking that way. The Archon really doing a great job against these mutas, not letting them get as much as they want on the High Templars.
Dude, I think he's done it.
I think so.
Especially if he's going to get this den here, that's just another thing to slow down the Zerg. Lings are not going to save you.
Well, hold on, though. He's got the rally coming in. I don't think he lost too many drones during all this. So, oh, God, with a hatchery in the den. Yeah, that's a little bit rough. But Shuttle is on only 2 bases.
True. Very true. The mutant count's gotten pretty low. I'm worried, though. I mean, with the more Zealots come in here, again, I'm assuming that, let's just assume that den's being remade somewhere else. Look, Shuttle knows how to keep this going on.
At this point, you're only, because you don't have the den, you're making Link Muta, and that's it.
Yeah, that's not good against Zealots like this.
Yeah, it's tough.
Mutas don't kill Zealots fast, by the way. So even though, in theory, air units would eventually win the fight, not before all that ground damage has been dealt.
Nice storm coming in. The last few Hydra is going to be coming down right now. More Mutas are popping out. He's going to lose this natural. He's still on 3 bases technically. But this is
like
so
this,
rough,
where it's like half the army's fighting while the other one's killing buildings. You know it's a bad sign.
Yeah.
And he's basically treating these Zealots like they're vultures, sending them through to different areas to just start killing workers.
He's just racking up the damage right now, and this is keeping him so... Oh, my God. That is so
man. Oh, and now he's going to go on top of the spire, so now Mutas can't even be made here.
What can you even make at this point,
so next he gets a spawning pool.
He's just making
drones.
drones.
Man, he kills every tech unit. Yeah. Drones migrating so hard to fight it off.
Oh my gosh. Well, he's got some more hatches up here, but yeah, he's actually making drones at the moment. Of course, he wants to refill his economy, but the Mutas just won't kill all this in time.
Yeah. The damage is already, being dealt here. And there's a 3rd base being taken here for Shuttle. Oh, I was right. God, my commentary's so good.
You're just always right about everything. It's crazy, except that Robo in the Nat.
GG.
Wow. Wow. Really well done by Shuttle. He really earned his spot in the top 4 here.
He did. Really cool to see Action coming in here with such prepared, decisive builds.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it was the veteran who's been there, done that, who's felt the pressure, who's lost stuff like that before and been able to recuperate. He's the victor. He did it. But, dude, we got to go to 5 games. That's pretty cool.
Look, this is a big moment for Shuttle, though, I have to say. To get a top 4 again, he was a previous champion. He hasn't had stellar season since then. So,
wow, look at Action just reflecting. Probably thinking about that Hydra that walked right into that forge.
Things went wrong today for him. It felt like he had planned this well enough that he definitely could have won, and he almost did. At the end of the day, Shuttle and his vast experience keeps him alive. He's got his avatar hat tail helping him out as well.
That's right. Well, Shuttle's going to come down, and Young Gun's going to interview him. And we're going to see how he's feeling. I mean, talk about an emotional journey.
Yeah. So it's a big victory for him. This guy is a father and, a streamer full-time. Definitely very beloved within the StarCraft scene out here.
모두
Another
함께
top 4.
하셨습니다. 3경기의 승자, 풀세트 끝에 5시즌 만에 4강에 돌아온 사람이죠.
We're going to have an interview with our player who just won a full series. Shuttle, congratulations. Thank you.
풀세트까지 가는 접전이었습니다. 오늘 승리 예상하기 쉽지 않으셨을 것 같은데
That was a very exciting full 5 games. It was so hard to predict who was going to win, but looks like after game 5 you managed to pull it together. You're in the semifinals. How do you feel?
잘된
I
것
came
같아요.
in today without any real expectations.
성대가 실력이 안 나온 것 같아요. 저도 진짜 못했는데.
I felt like Action might have been nervous in a lot of our games.
전략은 잘 짜왔는데.
That made me a little bit nervous.
유닛이 힘이 없더라고요. 그래가지고.
First of all, he prepared very well.
와, 또 이렇게 승자니까 이런 말을 할 수 있는 거 아니겠습니까?
그렇죠. 예.
1세트는 굉장히
But if I knew if I could keep my composure, I would come out victorious.
김윤중 선수도 사실 마인드 컨트롤하기 쉽지 않았을 것 같아요. 아무래도
So you won game 1 pretty easily, but then you lost those next 2 games in a row. It must have been difficult to manage your mindset in that moment. What was that like?
뭐 할지 모르니까 이게 성대가 도대체 제가 올인에 또
Look, he's just so unpredictable. It's hard to get a good read on him early on.
잘했으면 할만했는데 계속 멘탈이 나가니까 좀 잡아야 되는데.
But he did that all in and then pushed in with Mutas.
둥둥 떠 있고 그냥 아무 생각도 안 나고.
I was panicked. I was relying on shuttles.
4세트부터 좀 침착하게 제발 하자.
I just didn't know what to expect or what to do after that.
사기당한 느낌이에요.
All I tried to do is keep my composure and just keep focused.
계속 이기고 지금 승률도
You keep saying that you were struggling against Zerg. You're always saying that.
엄청 대단한 그런 승률을 보여주고 있는데 저거 그래도 힘든 겁니까?
But so far you've had an incredible win rate against Zerg. Tell us the truth. Aren't you still confident? Are you still confident against Zerg? Do you really find them hard to face off against? Yes. In terms of best of 5, I find them incredibly difficult, especially in long series best of 5s like that.
첫 번째 세트에서는 그 질럿들이
네네네.
한 2대
Let's talk
됐나요?
about game one.
회시 쪽 공략을 하기 위해서 계속 좀 소송이다가 갑자기 확 들어갔는데 좀
Your zealot
어려운
movement was
판단
excellent.
아닌가요? 언덕 위쪽 그 해처리였는데요.
만약에 좀 잘하는 선수였으면 멀티 먹고 운영할 텐데.
Don't you think it's tough to make
저는 그런
decisions
거
like that?
없습니다. 그냥
He says, I
그냥
think
바로
good
그냥
players are going to go for
그런
expansions.
컨셉으로 또 해가지고 잘 이겼네.
그리고 또 이 별이 좀
I just go
돌았었죠,
for
던진
fights.
해처리.
I prefer to go for fights in moments like that.
그거는 근데 뭔가 손쉽게
Let's
이긴
talk
것
about that
같아요.
proxy hatchery game.
심리가 제가 만약에 먹혀가지고 막 포토도 8개 짓고 10개 지었어야 되는데
Somehow I won that game easily.
커세어도 빨리 뛰어가지고 안전하게 잘 대처해서 그냥 쉽게 이겼던 것
혹시
같아요.
그 히드라 딱 처음 그 얼굴을
I
봤을
produced a lot of
때
Corsairs.
좀 생각은 해봤나요? 이게 좀 말도 안 되는 타이밍이었잖아요.
I think I managed the game overall very well.
이게 뭐지? 투해철인가? 이렇게 생각했어요. 근데
Yeah, I was quite puzzled by that.
보이더라고요. 그래가지고
When
다행이다.
he exposed himself too early, and then I saw his hatchery next to my base. And once I saw that, I knew exactly what was
타이밍
happening.
노렸던 겁니까? 여기서 끝날 수 있어라는 생각으로 딱 들어간 거예요.
Let's talk about the last map.
두 개를 또 운 좋게
Did you
잡아가지고
feel like you had known the
그때부터
exact
승리
moments when you needed to attack? Did you feel like that was
상대가 또
you had a read on that?
스타일이 좀 이제 전략은 또 전략대로 쓰는데
I think Action's play style is quite good at the strategic element of the game, but he also tends to have
아무래도 이 네 번째 세트에서
overexpand and therefore overextend. So I kept that in mind and tried to
자신감 있게
make that a
공격을 할 수
feature of
있지
my play.
않았나는 생각도 드는데요. 자 이제 4강에서는 변현재 선수와 이영호 선수와의 경기에서
So in the
승자를
semifinals,
만나게 됩니다.
네네.
사실 변현재 선수하고는 또 친분이 두텁잖아요.
you'll be
네.
facing either Mini or Flash. What's your take on these two players?
테라는 어렵나요?
I understand Mini is a very good friend of yours.
진짜
Who do you want to
쉽거든요.
win in that series?
한 놈이 문제예요. 진짜 테란한테 안 진단 마인드인데 누굴 만나도 안 진단 마인드. 김성현 만나도 안 진단 마인드인데
Oh, she also asked, are you struggling against
이영호가
Terrence
너무
too?
잘해가지고
No, Terrence easy for me to
현재가
face.
또 이겨서 또 우리 STX
But there's the one player who's going to be a problem.
해가지고 뭐 멋있게
believe he's talking
하겠지만
about
저도
Flash.
기분 안 나쁠 것 같아요. 현재랑 하면은 멋지게 딱 준비해가지고 할 수 있을 것 같은데 근데
Minnie's a good friend.
1% 정도밖에 안
I think if I play against Mini, it's going to be pretty fun.
변현재 선수가
네.
이길 가능성이요.
So that could be cool as well.
그냥 경기장 안 왔으면 좋겠어요. 의미가 없습니다. 와봤자.
I also predict that he only
근데
has.
뭐 16강, 24강
1%
대진에서도
chance against me.
김윤중 선수를 놓고도
So I'm expecting him to not show up to the
이길
tournament that day.
가능성이 희박하다라는 평가가 있었어도 김윤중 선수가 이렇게 4강까지 올라오셨잖아요.
이미지가
A lot of people predict that Shuttle
항상
will have the
저기도
hardest time to get to the semifinals, but you still came out. What do you say to your doubters?
그런데도 나 다 무시하고.
I think the image of myself
본인이
is
자꾸 약한 소리를 하시니까 약한 말씀을
bad. I
하시니까 그런
think
거
people are
아닐까요?
watching this look down on me.
약한 모습 보이면서 혼내줬습니다. 네.
그래서 아무래도 팬들이 더 김윤중 선수의
But isn't
승리를
that because that
기뻐하는
you're
것
whining
같아요.
whenever you do the interviews? Do you think that's the possible reason why?
오늘 좀 경기력이 좀 많이 안
proved that they
좋았어요.
can make it to the
제가 또
semifinals.
멘탈이
Any words to your fans?
이게 저거 좀 너무 어렵네요, 진짜.
I'm not really satisfied with my performance.
다음은 테란전이랑 토스전이니까
I still
누굴
feel
만나도 또 멋있게 하도록
PVZ is very difficult.
네, 다시 한번
But I did
4강
it.
진출 축하드리고요. 4강에서도 멋진
But
경기를
PvP
기대하겠습니다.
could have next. I can do that. I'm confident. Okay,
자,
thank you.
이렇게 해서
Congratulations.
ASL 8강 세 번째 경기의
We
승자
did it,
김윤중 선수와
Tosis.
함께했습니다.
Bump, bump, bump. And then the cat bites the dust.
It was a nice night of games, no doubt. And Shell getting into that top 4. Exciting stuff awaits the winner of Mini and Flash, which we will find out in 2 days. This top 4 is really shaping up.
You got that right, Artie.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Tuesday. Can I skip a day? I only want to skip days for moments like this.
I know, right?
Or when Game of Thrones is around. I'm like,
Tomorrow
I'll give up.
means nothing. It's really all about Tuesday.
Oh, man.
I hate Mondays. There's never any ASL.
There's never
on.
any ASL on then. That's why they have that restaurant. Thank God it's Tuesdays. Because that's when they all go there and watch ASL.
Yeah.
So we will be back with that. No more StarCraft 2 in Korea till the new year. But StarCraft 1 stays strong as we continue to power through this. What an interesting Final Four so far.
Yeah, last versus effort on one side of the bracket. Over here, Shuttle awaits Mini or Flash.
And we don't know that Flash is going to make it. We have to assume that it's the most likely result, but I mean, people are getting really good at PBT.
Oh, yeah, no, it's the matchup that Flash actually loses sometimes. So
Yeah.
it tells you something about the difficulty level. And Mini is no slouch in this matchup, so that is going to be a fantastic match. I tell you, every time I tune into Flash's stream, if he's not playing money maps, he's playing TVP right now. Okay,
Yeah.
so he is really prepping for it, no doubt, but you know Mini's doing the same.
Yeah, Mini is a very smart player.
Yeah.
The new age Protosses are a very scary thing.
Yeah. And by the way, we have one of each race already in that top 4, Tasteless.
Thank you, David.
Can
Kim.
we get the 4th race, Flash,
That's right.
in
The
there as well?
Zelnaga.
Well, not, I was going to
The
say
Night
just
Elves.
straight up Flash, because he's so much better than all the other Terrans. But
Yeah, settle down, you Flash maniac. I think Mini might be able to take the Martosis. Look at Mini.
Oh, look at that. Sylphin twice.
Oh, again?
Neo Transistor 3rd set. Okay.
Autobahn, game 4.
Neo Transistor, that's the one that's actually very difficult for TVP.
I don't think Mini can win on circuit breakers. I think Flash is going to roll him there.
I wish we had a camera on me right now so we could see me just turn my head slowly to look at you in confusion that you would say such a thing.
Oh, I think Flash is going to crush.
You think he's going to crush on circuit breakers?
I think he's going to crush.
Yeah, well, I think some speed shuttles are going to fly in and his Goliaths aren't going to do anything tasteless. That's what I think. Yeah, this series is going to be amazing, though. Everyone definitely should be tuning into it. If Flash wins here, absolutely favored to take down the tournament.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We did it. Another good ASL cast. I enjoyed the games.
Yeah,
really cool to see all
it was
those
a good
crazy
day.
strats from Action. Too bad it didn't work out. But maybe we're going to see more of Action down the road.
There's no doubt. He's at the level where it's like, if there's an ASL without him, that in and of itself is the biggest upset.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, and it is really good to have new blood in the scene.
Yeah.
Even if he's been around for a long time, he was not having this kind of success or these kind of results. So I think he's going to go back, learn from this experience, maybe not be as crazy, as cheesy, be a little bit more dynamic in a best of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, Shuttle doing well. That's always exciting. He's kind of when we started our StarCraft 1 casting way back.
He won that season of ASL over Sharp in the finals there.
When we started casting StarCraft 1 again along with StarCraft 2.
Really, when you look at what our round of 8 was this time, it was all complete badasses and then Action. Right? It had the VSL winner in Effort. It had the ASL winners in Flash, Shuttle, and Rain. It had ASL runner-up in Sharp.
Yeah.
Had KSL winner last.
And it's funny because
Action, pretty ridiculous.
Action got out of a crazy good group, and a lot of people were chalking that up to luck or to best of ones. And then he did go to Game 5 here against Shuttle, proving that he really can play a series.
You get out of that group with Jaedong and Flash in it. I mean, oh my God. He's the reason why we didn't have Jaedong here. So
I know. This is like one of these alternate universes that's not as good, but kind of interesting anyways, because Jaedong didn't advance. But
we now know that we don't live in the best possible universe.
It's one of the better ones, but
it's a good one.
Yeah,
though.
I'm like, okay.
I'm not going to hate on it.
Anyways, guys, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. We love you. We will see you on Tuesday, same time, same place. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
There's nothing I can say this time to bring you back from the shadows, away from the world. It's where you chose to live.